My first guest is a liberal comedian. He's known.
Over the past
Okay, this semester we're going to be
All right.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Ned Ghost Rider broadcast. I'm Ned Ghost Rider. Most people call me Ghost. Welcome in. It is Monday, April 13th, 2026. Welcome in. Hope everybody's having a good start to their work week. And hope everybody's having a good day. But I'm here. I'm live and alive. I am late. I'm late relative to my normal time because I worked 2 rounds again today. And I am back. I am back. I am live and alive. And I am here with you wonderful people that came in. With Danny with the first, Ellie with the second, and hi, Becca, Lesbian Allen Iverson, and Keko. But chat, I promised React content today, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do React content. We're going to do React content, including Hogwatch, from Walter Masterson as well as Jolly Good Ginger. So that'll be a fun video to react to. And then we are gonna do maybe we'll do beavers. We'll see how much energy I have. I'm pretty fucking beat. I'm pretty goddamn beat, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very beat, but we're gonna kind of get through this. So apologies, but I'm gonna be eating through a lot of the first few videos. I'm gonna be eating through a lot of the first few videos because I'm hungry, chat, and I literally just got back. So bear with me. Bear with me. I will do my best to not talk and eat onto the mic, but all right, chat. First video from Second Thought. The real reason the U.S. attacked Iran. The real reason. Let me get that going. Come on. Full screen work. All right, chat. Here we go. Right into it with JT over at Second Thought. And we're going to do the thing.
Major attack against Iran this morning.
This was a joint Israeli-U.S. operation.
The Department of War launched Operation Epic Fury.
Israel and the U.S. this morning are tearing Iran's military and leadership to pieces.
On February 28th, the U.S. and Israel launched a series of decapitation attacks against Iran, killing Ayatollah Khamenei and starting what might become the newest forever war in the Middle East.
So how do you see this ending, this war?
I don't know, Sarah. I know this.
It's only just begun, and already there has never been a less popular war in the U.S., which is shocking given just how long we've been preparing for this.
I said, are we still going to war with Iraq? And he said, oh, it's worse than that. He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
That list was made in 2001. Every country on that list we've attacked now. But this all-out assault on Iran still seems like it came out of nowhere. So we did a little digging. And here's
we don't believe in solidarity, chat. Or not. we don't believe in sovereignty, chat. Like, the history of the United States has not allowed anybody to have any kind of autonomy on how they decide to run their country. And it's so fucked up.
all the different reasons we've been told we're at war, why they're lies, and who we're really doing this for. Okay, friends, quick sponsor drama for you. I want to make sure I respect your time, so if you're not interested in the juicy details or supporting the channel, feel free to skip ahead to this timestamp. Those of you who've stuck around, thank you. As you probably know, for the past about 2 years now, we've been working with Aura. I have praised them for being a good service and for having the guts to sponsor a channel like ours, which most other sponsors won't touch. Last week, every creator working with Aura got a corporate email out of the blue that basically said, hey, Instead of this fair deal that we've had for the past multiple years, we're changing it so that we make all the money and you get nothing. XOXO corporate. I have tried everything in my power to negotiate and get them to be reasonable because the new terms are genuinely offensive, but they won't budge and have basically given all of us the finger. So, long story short, it sure would be a shame if everyone who signed up for Aura for my sake were to cancel their subscriptions and tell all their friends not to use Aura. But personal pettiness aside, this really leaves the channel in the lurch. I swear this past year has been just one financial kick in the teeth after another. We had come to count on that predictable monthly revenue since up till now, Aura had been so consistent. So I guess the lesson I keep failing to learn is that socialist creators should never trust anyone who is not ideologically aligned with their mission. Brands and liberal platforms will disappoint you every single time. So, all this to say, we are doubling down on Means TV and Patreon. I've already started putting up some additional exclusive content on Means. Right now, we've got Second Thought After Dark companion episodes for each of the last few uploads. They're a lot of fun. And then I'm also strongly considering finally pulling the trigger on making the multi-hour propaganda masterclass I've been thinking about for a couple years. If that sounds interesting to you, let me know in the comments. We've had enough of the corporate nonsense here at Second Thought. I think it's time we actually do the socialist thing and build our own vision of the future. And that means direct support for the channels we care about and coming together to build the best media ecosystem we can. If you're a fan of Second Thought, please do consider signing up for Means TV using any of the links in the description. I've got a 20% off discount for you or 50% off for existing patrons. If you're not interested in Means, consider tossing us a few bucks on Patreon. You get a bunch of cool perks there too. And finally, if you're a socialist content creator, get in touch. Send me an email and let's talk about getting you on Means TV. It's time we took matters into our own hands and supported each other here. So thank you for taking the time to listen, and thank you especially to everyone who chooses to support what we're doing here at Second Thought. This channel, now especially,
Chat, should I do it?
Really not exist without your support. All right.
Should I do it?
The show. First up, nuclear weapons.
But if we didn't do what we're doing right now, you would have had a nuclear war and they would have taken out many countries because you know what? They're sick people.
Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. The US's own intelligence has said for years that Iran stopped looking into nuclear weapons back in 2003. Khamenei was very publicly opposed to developing nuclear weapons. And although I could point to even more credible sources saying Iran does not and was not close to having nuclear weapons, like this one and this one, I think the best thing I can do is just show you this.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year.
Chat, this is my favorite shit because Bibi Netanyahu for 20 years now has been saying that Iran is 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. And then Barack Obama negotiated a deal, the JCPOA, to quote unquote ensure that they wouldn't have nuclear weapons. And Bibi Netanyahu and Israel tried to fucking undermine that deal to the best of their ability.
Have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away.
Sorry, 30 years.
The fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
Iran's nuclear weapons are like Saddam's WMDs.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass.
No, they definitely existed. They definitely existed. We definitely went in there for good reasons. They definitely existed, and they definitely didn't fucking lie about it.
Destruction.
Saddam Hussein and his regime are concealing their efforts to produce more weapons of mass destruction.
They're not real. They're an excuse to raise the temperature and attack sovereign countries unprompted. When countries actually have nuclear weapons, like the DPRK, the US leaves them alone. So now the rhetoric...
That's exactly what I said in my fucking Iran video. If you don't have nukes, you should get nukes, because that is the only way that you get sovereignty. and you're allowed to do what you want. Because countries that have nukes don't get fucking bombed. What's up, Bite Sync?
Has shifted to this being a preemptive strike. That too is a lie. The intelligence for that isn't coming from reputable sources or military commanders, it's coming from the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. In other words, there was no defensive justification for this war. Next reason.
The full scale of the casualties in Iran after the brutal crackdown against anti-government protesters is still not known.
Going back to the president's post here, he says the USA stands ready to help.
Et c'est pourquoi la France s'est mobilisée pour lutter.
Also, Trump got a lot of people killed. Trump got a lot of people killed in that protest by saying, oh, we're here to help and go out into the streets. But it was kind of a cover. It was kind of a cover to allow Mossad-controlled agents within Iran attack police departments and everything to try to overthrow the Iranian government. I definitely recommend the Drop Site News podcast where an Iranian professor talked about it and how most of the people that had weapons, if not all of them, were fed weapons by the United States and Israel, and that Iranian police officers don't fucking shoot people for protesting. Because they're not barbaric like the fucking United States of America.
Contre l'impunité des responsables
I love eating weapons.
des droits des femmes en Iran.
At time of writing, the war with Iran is only 2 weeks in. In those 2 weeks, somewhere in the ballpark of 1,000 Iranians have already been killed by American and Israeli bombs. Most infamously,
oh, he's gonna say it.
The US and Israel fired a missile at an all-girls school, killing 175 people, most of them children. The US and Israel have also hit Tehran's oil facilities, creating gigantic plumes of toxic smoke and acid rain.
Israel saying that these are legitimate targets, that they were fueling Iran's war effort, but the Iranians have been hitting back at that, saying that Israel...
Okay. Couldn't you technically use that argument to say, your water reserves, that's fueling your military? Wouldn't that be justification? Wouldn't that be the same justification? Like, it's so fucking asinine that the United States and Israel continues to get away with this fucking bullshit. Like, it'd be nice if Europe had a fucking spine and actually stood up to these fucking countries and arrested these fucking war criminals.
And the US are conducting chemical warfare. There have been warnings of acid rain.
The chemicals being released are known carcinogens. They can cause chemical burns on the skin and even severe lung damage. If previous US interventions in the Middle East are anything to go by, the US will kill far more people than the Iranian government ever did.
Europe likes it mostly. I mean, they don't like being vassal states, but spine's got nothing to do with it.
All the post 9/11 wars we started conservatively.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that Lindsey Graham said about the International Court was created for thugs like Putin and African warlords, but not for European countries in the United States and Israel.
Killed 1 million people directly and 3.6 to 3.8 million more indirectly. Because things exactly like the bombing of oil facilities have long-term deadly effects and thus kill tens of thousands of men and women indiscriminately. We are clearly not there to protect Iranians or liberate Iranian women. That same rhetoric of lifting the veil was used to invade Afghanistan, and after 20 years of war, the results are in and everybody is worse off. The fact that the US is already comfortable with mass civilian casualties in these first weeks is proof that protesters being killed wasn't their concern. Trump killing Khamenei and then saying he wants to pick the next leader and doesn't care about Iran being a democracy is proof that they don't want Iranians to have freedom and...
Dude, it's just... It's so funny that Trump is so fucking stupid that he says the quiet part out loud when he says, oh, actually, we don't give a shit if they're a democratic country or if they have freedom at all. Like, he's so dumb. He's so dumb and egotistical. He can't even, like, manufacture consent correctly. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't think manufacturing consent would work anyway nowadays, because I think there's too much information online that the average person can consume, as well as all the experience that we have with Afghanistan and Iraq. But like, they don't even fucking try. That's the part that pisses me off the most. They don't even try. And then the Democratic Party is so fucking feckless. They don't give any fucking pushback. Dude, if the Democratic Party ever gets fucking power again and they don't prosecute any of these assholes, what are we doing? Like, if any candidate ran on prosecuting all of these war criminals, they would win in a fucking landslide. Prosecuting all the war criminals, all the pedophiles, don't care what party affiliation they are, just fucking prosecute them. Look forward, not backward. Fucking Obama. Literally, thanks, Obama. Yeah. And no president ever is going to prosecute another president, because they know that as soon as you get the job, you're a war criminal immediately. Even if Bernie Sanders got the fucking job, he'd immediately be basically a war criminal. 67, 42. 105 consecutive streams. Congratulations, Lemon. Thank you. Appreciate you being in here. Also, congratulations on the third.
Self-determination. In other words, there is no humanitarian justification for this war. So, nuclear weapons and protecting Iranians are the most cited reasons we're doing this, and they're lies. As are the other zero evidence excuses Trump's thrown out there, like revenge for election interference, which I won't bother to debunk. So, why are we doing this?
This reminds me of Trump 1 when they sent Pence out to try to manufacture consent for Iran. And they're like, oh, they had a hand in doing 9/11. What? I had that conversation with my fucking mom. She's like, oh, they were involved in 9/11. I'm like, no, they fucking weren't. They weren't at all. And on top of that, which I found out probably the last couple years, Iran has literally been helping the United States in the war on terrorism, like for years. For years. They helped fight like the Taliban, and they helped fight ISIS. They like helped tremendously. And then George W. Bush out of nowhere fucking included Iran in the axis of evil. Like, it's just, the United States does the same shit with the fucking Kurds too. They supply the Kurds and have the Kurds do proxy wars for them, and then they leave them, hang them out to dry.
If it's not for our safety, if it's not for the safety and freedom of Iranians.
Also, didn't Trump fully admit that they were passing weapons along to the Kurds to pass along to the Iranians too? Can you fully admit that shit?
Is there any reason for the U.S. to be at war right now? Well, there are three. One, it hurts China, or at least that's the hope. China gets 17% of its oil from Iran and Venezuela, and is both countries' biggest client. Disrupting that could hurt China, and would be in line with the trillions the US has already spent on anti-China military expenses.
This movie goes out to the brave Mujahideen fighters, etc. Yeah, that's a Rambo movie. For those that don't know, at the end of one of the Rambo movies, they said this movie goes out to the brave Mujahideen fighters, who then were split up, and one of which becoming the Taliban. The Mujahideen were funded by the United States to take on the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. So once again, the United States funds a fucking radicalist group, a radical group, and then it bites them in the fucking ass. I thought that frame was fake. Nope. It was not fake. Also, insanely fucked up quote if you know anything about First Blood at all, but that's a whole other thing. First Blood, the movie? Yeah.
This is, by the way...
It's a myth? It didn't say that? Didn't they honor the Mujahideen? Oh, never mind. The official versions read the gallant people of Afghanistan. It wasn't Mujahideen. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Oh, it was just the people of Afghanistan. Thank you, Plank. Thank you, Plank.
A country that has not attacked the US in any way, shape, or form, for the record. Except, attacking Iran probably won't hurt China. China seemed to be somewhat prepared for this possibility and started building a stockpile of oil a few months ago.
Also, the United States has literally allowed Iran to send oil to China. They literally lifted the sanctions on Iran and allowed them to send oil to China.
So even though cutting off 17% of the country's oil is a lot, it's not a devastating amount, especially now that China's increased its renewable capacity by so much. It's not clear if this is really going to hurt China as much as it might hurt the US and Europe. And that brings us to reason number 2 why we're at war. It makes our oil companies and weapons manufacturers billions. Now, we've talked about this a few times on the channel, so I'll go kind of fast here, but the bottom line of wars in the Middle East is that they increase the demand for weapons and the price of oil simultaneously. Wars create fear about access to oil and make oil futures go crazy, meaning soaring profits.
Oil prices surging as world markets are getting their first chance to react to those strikes on Iran.
And on the weapons front, we're already seeing reports that the war is costing $2 to $3 billion a day. That money is coming out of the Pentagon budget, generous.
Just think about all the good that can be done. All the good that can be done with that money. Think about all the schools that can be built, all the parks that can be built, all the teachers that can be paid, all the potholes that are filled, all the healthcare we could provide for our citizens. But instead, we're using it to fucking to bomb brown children in the Middle East. I think we passed 50 billion total spent today. That's GDP, baby. Yeah. Yeah, GDP, baby. Spend all that money, make GDP number go up. Except in reality, GDP doesn't fucking mean shit. I wonder if someone has done a study to find how much of the American GDP is inflated with like unnecessary shit. Like basically the United States government just pumping money into private companies for services. Because like there's the joke that two economists are walking through the woods. They come upon a pile of dog shit. One says to the other, hey, I'll pay you $50 to eat that pile of dog shit. Economist goes, okay. They come on to another pile of dog shit. The other economist says, hey, I'll pay you $50 to eat that dog shit. The economist takes $50 and eats it. Then they keep walking along and be like, hey, I feel like we just ate shit and we didn't really have anything to show for it. And the other economist goes, hey, well, the GDP went up $100. Yeah. I've told that joke many times. That's pretty much what GDP is. Like, if the government would provide services for necessary goods and services, the GDP would go down. And everybody would be freaking the fuck out that the GDP went down. Except literally, American citizens or citizens in general would be fucking taken care of. They'd be taken care of. All their material conditions would be taken care of. It's just at that point, most of the products purchased and services purchased would be luxury goods. But whatever. But the Dow is more than $50,000. It's points. It's points. It's points. It's not dollars, spicy water. Also, I don't think the Dow is 50,000 anymore. Also, RIP in peace. Actually, don't rest in peace. Fuck you, Pam Bondi. The Dow Jones is at 48,000. It's not even 50,000 anymore. It's not even 50,000 anymore. It's 48,000. It's a direct quote. I know it's points. Wait. Pam Bondi didn't even say it was fucking points. She just said, wait. I thought she just said the Dow is more than 50,000. She said $50,000? Oh my God, we're so fucking stupid as a country. Why do we keep allowing these fucking imbeciles to be our leaders, our representatives? Like, what the fuck is wrong with us? Oh.
Funded by our taxes and going straight to Boeing's pockets. They manufacture F-15Es for $100 million a pop, and 3 have already been shot down. High gas prices and increased defense spending doesn't help Americans. It only helps a few billionaires. And if you'd like a more in-depth explanation of wars, oil, and weapons, here's a video we made about that. Anyway, we've now gotten to the biggest reason.
What's up, nerds? What's up, Lily? Welcome in.
Of all, Israel. Israel wanted this. You already saw the clip of Netanyahu fear-mongering about nuclear weapons for decades, and this war is the product of that relentless effort. He recently said, quote, "This coalition of forces allows us to do what I have yearned to do for 40 years. On February...
Chat, for those that are unaware of this, when Israel gives statements in English, they're doing it for the United States and the manufacturer consent amongst American citizens, right? So if they're giving a statement in English, that's why they're doing it, okay? The other thing that happens is when they give statements in Hebrew, it is like some of the most vile, bloodthirsty shit you've ever heard in your life. Like, this is why we call Israel a fucking Nazi state. They're a bunch of fucking fascists that want to create an ethno-state, which is only possible if you ethnically cleanse or genocide the entire Palestinian population or the entire Middle East. Didn't Bibi Netanyahu also say that this is part of the project for a greater Israel as well, a part of the Middle East?
February 11th, Netanyahu visited the White House to talk specifically about Iran, nuclear weapons, and convince Trump to give up diplomatic talks. And that clearly worked. Destroying Iran would give Israel a stronger claim to regional hegemony and more freedom to continue with their top priorities: genociding Palestinians and doing illegal land grabs. Already, Lebanon and the West Bank have been targeted, and 6 Palestinians have been killed by settlers. This is the reality behind the violence, and the US is using every means available to distract from it and justify this war. They're making up nuclear weapons and turning Iranian protesters into martyrs before bombing them indiscriminately. Recently, we've even seen the US try to play on people's faith, framing the current onslaught as a heavenly ordained religious war. Nothing.
Grand disappointment party. Bitesync, GDP isn't the Republican Party, the GOP. GDP is gross domestic product, which is a measure of all the products that your country sells and stuff. I'm not a supply chain guy by any means, but like there's a train line from Iran to China. That'll probably be next on the list because the amount of train hatred that the United States has. Oh, Nate, my bonus got cut by 70%. Oh, swell.
Is sticking. After what's been happening in Gaza, Venezuela, Cuba, it's clear that our leaders' intentions are never altruistic.
Quick life update. I finally saved enough money and had my first electrolysis appointment yesterday. It hurt a lot, and I can't shave or wear makeup, so uber dysphoria, but temporary discomfort for permanent gain. I'm excited. Happy for you, Lily. Glad you're able to do the thing that you've wanted to do. Sorry about the dysphoria part, though.
Or humanitarian. This war is as useless as all the others. We don't need to wait 20 years to realize that. So what now? The first step, for those of us here in the belly of the beast, is to talk to people about this. The anti-war movement during Vietnam grew as the war became visibly endless and unjustifiable. The Iraq War became deeply unpopular once the lies were exposed and the costs began to add up. Support for Afghanistan collapsed when it became clear there was no coherent endgame. In each case, opinion shifted because people recognized a pattern of deception, waste, and failure. Now, your goal in these conversations is not to win instantly. It's just to plant the seeds of doubt. It's to remind people that they have been told this time is different many times before. It's to connect the...
Yeah, this administration said that the last couple of times that we've done this, it was actually really dumb people that did it. But we're really smart now.
Current conflict to a decades-long cycle of escalation and worsening conditions for everyone except the rich. Why should we believe that this time it will turn out differently? So don't waste this opportunity to talk to your friends and family. We have a lot of work to do, but it's important work. So I'm calling on each and every one of you watching this. Give me one person in your life. Plant that seed of doubt in just one mind. We can stop this.
Oh, I love JT in Second Thought. Also, the rest of the boys at the D program, I can't recommend it enough. Chat. Highly, highly recommend the D program podcast. All right. Let's move on to the next video, which is a funny video. Man carrying things. And you might recognize the kind of layout of this video. It might seem familiar, especially for those that may or may not have, I don't know, liked a guy that calls himself Professor Young. So chat, please watch along with me on the side. This is why we post the links at the top of the chats. But yeah, I never said I fucking liked him. I wasn't talking about you. I said, what do you think of this guy? I believe. Do you want me to go through the logs? God damn it, Ghost, head ass boy. Do you want me to go to the logs? Do you want me to go to the logs and say, hey, check out this dude? Check out this dude. He's predicted like a bunch of stuff. And then someone had an actual in-depth conversation with him, and he's kind of crazy. Literally go through the log. You want me to go through the logs? I did go to a chiropractor today, and my back was so fucked up. He told me to ice it and come back Friday and then ice it over the weekend. Aren't you not supposed to ice your back? Giannis is game theory guy. You are literally making up history. Professor Young claims that he's doing game theory, and then when pressed on game theory, he doesn't really give an answer. Giannis Varoufakis is the best, by the way.
Okay, this semester, we're going to be covering what happens to failed empires, and our main example will be the United States Empire, okay? This is an example. This is our first example, okay? Now, I'm going to be using game theory to predict what happens to the United States.
By the way, chat, I've taken game theory classes in college. I took the mathematics-based game theory class, which was significantly more difficult than the other economics game theory class that I took.
Okay? And game theory, okay, is when you predict things, right? That's what game theory is. And I'm the best at it, okay? I recently predicted lots of things that have come true, right? And I predicted the United States would launch a war with Iran, right? Okay? And I predicted also that the United States would lose this war, okay? We'll see if that happens, right? What more do you people need from me, right? I'm Nostradamus.
For those that don't know what game theory is, it's literally every decision that's made is called a game. And there's payoffs based on that decision, whether it's a two-party decision or a three-party or whatever. And then based on those payoffs, you can figure out the best decision for each of the individual participants within the game. That's the equilibrium.
Essentially, right? Okay? Now, I'm not just going to sit on my laurels, right? I'm going to make some new predictions today using game theory, right? Okay? I knew that through pressure with Israel, Trump would launch a war with Iran. Why Iran?
He's Nostradamus.
I have a full class of students right here. No one can tell.
Bearing in mind that each decision alters your opponent's decisions. Well, it depends on the type of game that you're theorizing. So, like, an example would be a prisoner's dilemma, right? So you have two prisoners. If you blame the other person, you're gonna have less jail time. The other person will have more jail time. If you both blame each other, you're both gonna have a very long jail time. But if neither one of you speak, you're both gonna end up with like shorter jail time, if any at all. So the equilibrium, the Nash equilibrium, is both of you to not say a word. So, and both those decisions are not like are independent of one another because you're not going to know what the other person does because you're in two different rooms.
Tell me, okay? Well, there's multiple factors, okay? One of these regions is something called the Strait of Hormuz, okay? It's a heterosexual strait.
I got to do my taxes.
Okay?
Have
it's
fun,
unique to
Kitta.
the region. Why? Okay, I'll demonstrate.
Kitta, you have 2 days to do your taxes. What the fuck? After I was talking about doing my taxes for a long time?
Illustrate it for you, okay? Let's say that...
Bro, I know.
This is Iran, right? This is Iran. This is the UAE, okay?
It's me, I'm just like this? Get that refund back.
Okay? Now this is the Persian Gulf, okay? Now there's a choke point right here, okay? To limit the oil that's going through, okay? The Persian Gulf. So everything that's trying to get in and everything that's trying to come out is blocked right here, okay? Right here. It's being blocked.
If I don't have a deadline breathing down my neck, I can't focus. So you're not good with like open world games that doesn't have a timer then, huh?
Right here, okay? All right? Economic collapse. Now, why would an empire like the United States, at the peak of its powers, engage in such a disastrous war, right? Okay, the United States is failing economically and has to make a last-ditch effort to try to preserve the...
Granted, I did my taxes last week. Yeah, but you did them last week. But also, your taxes are super fucking easy, Gecko.
Superiority of the American dollar, right? Okay, and it's all happening right here. This is where it's going down. We don't know yet what's going to happen here, but I predict failure for the United States, right? Okay. Now, this all sounds reasonable, right? This all makes sense to you, but there's a problem.
How do you know that, Ghost? Because I lived outside the country for 5.5 fucking years, and I know when you live outside the country, the taxes are really fucking easy to do. Oh, yeah. Fucking dumbass. Also, you literally have Texas. You have Texas as your state of residence, which doesn't have income taxes. Again, makes it even easier. Hey, Ghost, what? What, Keko? Are you about to tell me to shut up?
The Illuminati.
Okay. Let's keep it PG, bud.
Okay, bud. But before I get to that, I'm going to make...
Fuck you. I'm allowed one fuck for PG movies.
A few more predictions about the beginning of the collapse of the American empire, right? Okay. All right. I'm going to make a few predictions right here. And the first prediction is important. This is a key. This is a key to the future collapse of the United States, okay? Number one, Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day, right, loses Best Picture at the Academy Awards. It loses Best Picture. Now, how could Steven Spielberg's movie about aliens possibly lose the Best Picture Academy Award? You might be asking that, right?
Chat,
okay. Number two.
Chat, is that a movie that came out? Is that a movie that came out? Because I'm unaware of this.
Florida will leave the United States, okay? Florida's going to leave the United States for a number of reasons. I'm going to get to that, okay? But here's the problem. I'm going to get to that. Number three, this is the third step in the collapse. Famous YouTuber Jake Paul
Not yet. Oh.
wins the presidency. You might be asking, how is that possible? How could he do that?
Coming
I
out
don't
soon.
know.
Comes out in June. Okay.
I do know. We're going to be talking about that. But first, let's talk about Disclosure Day.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is this literally how how Zhang's videos are? Where he'll start talking about a thing and then just not get to it at all? Bro, please get a better marker. I can't read the board. I think that's part of the bit, kidda. I think that's part of the bit.
Now let's talk about what are key United States exports, okay? What are key United States exports? Anyone tell me? What are the main 3 exports of the United States? Anyone tell me?
War.
Beanie Babies. That's correct, actually. That's one of them. Beanie Babies. What's number 2? Number 2, American football. That's actually an incorrect one. Right? That's a good example of a wrong answer. Anything else?
Weapons. War.
Okay. I'll answer it for you. Fucking idiots.
Fucking idiots.
Movies. One of the greatest exports from the United States, okay? Movies are essential to American cultural identity. Without movies, we don't have The Notebook. We don't have Ryan Gosling in Project Hail Mary. We don't have any of those things.
I was going to say Hollywood.
Do we have any questions? All right. The United States is at its end of its unipolar control of the culture, right?
He also... Didn't he only name one export? Didn't he only name one export and he asked for 3?
Right? The culture is moving away from movies. Look, just recently, a hinge point. This is what I call a hinge point. Okay?
What's up, Zed?
You all know what a hinge point is. A hinge point is where something hinges, right? Something important hinges on the hinge point because a change happened. A change that couldn't happen before, right?
Beanie Babies was the first. Oh, he was serious? He wasn't calling them stupid? Oh.
Okay? We have what I call a change in direction, a unique direction that we weren't on before. The United States and Israel attacking Iran. That is an example of a hinge point.
Okay. If this is literally how his videos go, I feel like we need to watch him. If if this is how his videos go, I feel like we need to watch him. Oh God. Did stream part 1. Nephew woke up, had to cut it short, gonna start it again in about an hour. Nice. How's work for you? Fucking long. And I'm tired. I'm tired, Zed. I'm always fucking tired. I'm perpetually fucking tired. But I'm here. I'm live and alive. And we're making fun of chuds.
Okay? Another example of a major hinge point. Anora wins Best Picture. Came out in 2024, won Best Picture in 2025, the Academy Awards. Conan O'Brien hosted, right? Very good monologue. But Anora was an anomaly. And Anora was a sign of where things were going, okay? Anora is a film about, what's Anora about? Anyone tell me? Jesus Christ. Okay, Anora is about sex workers. I don't like watching Anora with my parents. It makes me feel funny, okay? Makes me feel weird. There's lots of sexual images and references in Anora, right? Okay?
Imagine someone watching this not realizing it's parody and then confidently repeating it to their friends and family. Dude, no one showed up from self-promo, so first time Neg was wrong. Whoa, I wasn't wrong. Keko, we can say Neg was wrong. I'm always right. I'm always right. And if you disagree with me, there's a very special button that I can hit here. And then you can think about, I could increase the time to let you think about if I'm correct or not.
And what could have won in that year, right? What could have won? I call this the Amelia Perez hinge point. When Carla Sofia Gascon
I can also
said a
press
lot
the
of
button.
nasty things on Twitter, right? Okay, Amelia Perez nominated for almost a record-breaking number of Academy Awards. But in the vacuum of Amelia Perez, what rises? Anora. Now I propose that if Amelia Perez hadn't...
Oh my God, he didn't even wipe down anything. It's pretty much peak smart shit for dumb guys. There's a button. Yes, there's a button. There's a lot of people that could press that button in here. By the way, serious note, what are we watching? We're watching a parody of the Professor Zhang, who allegedly predicted, who's Nostradamus, where he has made like a shit ton of predictions, but the guy is a little bit of a crank because he has some serious like conspiracy theorist brain. And then he also said that most of the 20-year-olds in the United States have OnlyFans as well. 20-year-old women in the United States have OnlyFans as well. It's just it's off the fucking rails.
Been attacked. In a similar way, if you look in history, historically, right, the front runner often gets attacked. Marty Supreme, one of the front runners, got attacked, right? You look historically, a history of negative Oscar campaigns happened. You look at the late 90s, okay? Saving Private Ryan, supposed to win Best Picture. Everyone thought it was going to win Best Picture. Directed by Steven Spielberg, excellent film, right? Okay. But what wins instead of Saving Private Ryan, okay? What wins?
I've known this fuck for years. Is definitely not the first time. Never been wrong, ever. Ever. Never been wrong, ever. And if you start that way, 83% of the time, your life is way easier.
What won Best Picture? Shakespeare in Love. Slight, not important, not historically speaking, right? Shakespeare in Love wins Best Picture because of a man named Harvey Weinstein. This campaign was one of the early points that will lead to the downfall of our civilization because it leads later on to the winning of Anora, okay? Anora is not a Best Picture winning film, okay? Small film, it's an independent film. You may say, this is good. This is good for the culture, right? But it is a sign that the United States hegemony is collapsing, okay? And this will lead further to a breaking when, to my first prediction, Disclosure Day loses Best Picture. What is Disclosure Day? Anyone know? Steven Spielberg. Seen Jaws? Steven Spielberg's new movie, Disclosure Day, is about how aliens are living amongst us, right? What I propose...
Hey, he's connecting the dots. He's connecting the dots. He's showing how his game theory works. He's connecting the dots. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Is that it's real, okay? Disclosure Day is real. Steven Spielberg knows something. He knows something about aliens that we don't. He knows Obama. And Obama knows that aliens are real, okay? Disclosure Day is going to be a huge event, right? It's going to make a lot of money at the box office. Now, everyone wants Disclosure Day to win Best Picture, but what happens, right? What happens? Let's propose a theory, okay? Let's propose a theory. Let's say that, hypothetically speaking, Avengers Doomsday gets a Best Picture nomination, okay? I know it's not technically something that's likely to happen, but let's just say there's always a big...
He made E.T. He knows a thing or two about aliens. That's true, irradiated. That is true. Did he also make Close Encounters? Is that the one? Is Close Encounters the one where they communicate through like music and shit? Yeah. Yeah, he did. You're damn right he did. I have a theory that Trump was planning on dropping a nuke right when Artemis 2 was on the dark side of the moon to see if gravitational waves caused by the nukes would alert any ETs and cause them to expose themselves on the dark side of the moon. So you just made that up. You just made that up right now, Keko. It's not really a theory that you're working on. It's that you just made that up right now. Because it's ridiculous. Trump told me that.
A big film.
Oh, apparently Trump's cell phone number is very easy to get to, which I found out through Hassan. And Hassan has, I told him not to, and Hassan literally has Trump's phone number. I literally have a recording of me at 3 a.m. recording it on my phone. Oh my God.
That ends up taking a spot, right? For
He's testing
Picture.
a bit. Yeah.
This year was F1.
Thank God for Addy.
It's usually the Avatar.
I appreciate it,
right?
Addy.
Let's say Avengers Doomsday squeaks in to the Best Picture.
Thanks for not making sure that Trump didn't drop a nuke.
Remember, there's 10 Best Picture nominees, right? Disclosure Day gets kicked out by a bunch of these stupid indie films, right? That are boring, that make me go sleepy.
Also, does anybody have the clip of the astronauts just refusing to react to something Trump said for like a full minute? Look, I'm doing my best. My best may not be good enough in the end. Hey, but you're doing your best. You're doing your best. We appreciate it, Addy.
Time, right? These indies, they get kicked out, okay? And why would that happen? Why is independent cinema dominant over a movie like Disclosure Day, which I haven't seen, but I heard is going to be really good, right? Okay. This leads to a huge public outcry. What people don't know yet is that Stephen Colbert will be hosting the Academy Awards in 2027, which will be honoring the films from this year, 2026, okay? And when Disclosure Day loses Best Picture, he's going to say a slur. How do I know this? How do I know this will happen? Came to me in a dream, okay? After Stephen Colbert says this word on stage, and I'm not going to repeat or predict what word.
We got a few offers on my grandma's house. One is for 400 and some K, and the other is 554. When my grandma and uncle split the cost of the house, they bought it at 325. Offers have 2 more days. How are we ever gonna be able to afford a house? My favorite quote from the astronauts on this Apollo mission was the guy saying he has 2 Outlook accounts and neither of them were working. Outlook accounts work? Let's run a poll on which slur Colbert would say.
Stephen Colbert will say on stage, but he's going to be very angry that Disclosure Day loses Best Picture, okay? All right? He says this, and there's a change in the culture forever.
Once a month, if you make a blood sacrifice to Bill Gates under the light of the full moon. My mother still uses her Outlook accounts. I don't know. My meteorology Outlook account has mostly worked.
The United States no longer controls the culture. Stephen Colbert is no longer on TV at this point, okay? He's a figurehead. He's like a monarch. He's like the Queen of England, okay? After that happens, Florida leaves the United States, all right? Becomes its own country. And President J.D. Vance, that's right, he's going to be president at this point. Don't ask me how I know.
Oh,
President
God.
J.D. Vance is going to let it happen. He's going to say, Florida can do whatever it wants, man, right? That's what he says. And this will ricochet all throughout the United States. Other states are going to try to leave, right?
Still need to watch Artemis footage and may stream it tonight. This is a lie. Probably.
Gavin Newsom, president of California, but it's not going to work, right? Only Florida, right? Because Florida, you can blockade, but you cannot block out, okay? So what's going to happen is that all this energy from Florida is going to come shooting out, politically speaking. It's going to result...
Wait, was it Artemis and not Apollo? Yes, it was Artemis. Apollo were the original missions to the moon. I haven't been paying close attention. Yes, it's Artemis. I thought you were saying Apollo because you thought... I was letting it go. I was letting it go.
In a new...
I thought you might have been saying Apollo because thinking that any mission that goes to the moon is known as Apollo or something like that. I wasn't going to push.
Direction in the United States. Isolationism, right? Religious fervor, natural disasters, climate change, okay? Which will result in YouTuber Jake Paul. He's going to run for president.
We did not push here.
He's going to run under the Green Party and he's
not
going to win in a landslide, okay? He's going to edit the Constitution. He's going to call it editing the Constitution, but what really that means, right? Okay? It means he's going to burn the Constitution, okay? And at this point, the United States is no longer dealing with Iran. It's no longer dealing with China, all right? Its main conflict is with Canada and with Mexico. Jake Paul will avenge the Disclosure Day truthers, okay? He's going to reveal who is an alien and who is not. Okay? It'll be very theatrical. It's going to result in lots of ricochet effects, okay? Plague, climate change.
Both start with A. Fair.
Lots of things are going to change, and this will all result in a new day, new direction for the United States empire. Because at this point, the United States will not be an empire. It will not be concerned with any of this stuff, okay? And as you can already tell, my predictions, while maybe a little unorthodox, are rooted in fact. Everything is changing. Any questions? Are you all scared of me, or like what's going on? Why don't you ask any questions? All of this is just a theory, a game theory. That's class.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Ghost, I bet you were the type to ask questions in class. I mean, I slept in class. I was actually a terrible college student. I was a horrible college student. I did not go to like any like office hours. I didn't ask questions. I'm like, fuck it, I'll figure it out. I'm smart enough, I can figure it out. But like, I don't know. I struggled a little bit, just like some chatters struggle to avoid the top of the hour ad break. Because the top of every hour, Twitch makes me run 3 minutes of ads to avoid pre-roll ads for any new viewers. If you want to avoid the ads, you get pay $5.99 for a subscription, or get lucky and get gifted a sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, then hopefully it's one of my friends. But here comes a 3-minute ad break now. I didn't want anyone to notice me in school. I was that type. I would feel bad for the professor. I mean, asking questions in class is like kind of cool because most people are gonna actually like. I found that most people, if I had a question and I wasn't sure of something, most of us had that same thought in our head. So, all right, while the ads are playing, which there are no ads playing right now. There are 0 ads playing right now because I'm in the politics category.
Okay, so you're the United States.
For the most part, yes. Yeah, so there are no ads playing right now. I'm like almost positive there are no ads playing right now because I'm in the politics category. So I asked a tutor a question once and they admitted they didn't know what the golden rule is. Interesting. Are you getting ads? Zed, are you getting ads? I was like, I'm not getting ads. Yeah, I'm in the politics category.
Okay, so you're the United States. Yeah. I'm Iran. Let's bring everything back to square one. Shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Somehow we haven't reached a deal yet. How is that possible? We sent the negotiating power of Vice President J.D. Vance. This should have been solved immediately.
Yeah, he couldn't keep a straight face saying that either. Also, I'm like pretty positive that they're setting up J.D. Vance to be the fall guy for this Iran thing. Because J.D. seems to be leaking tremendously that he was the person that's like completely against this war. Because he's trying to set up a run in 2028 to be the anti-war candidate.
I'm sorry, I can't get through that with a straight face. That's a great joke. Thank you. Look, we just want the Strait of Hormuz open at this point. Well, we're going to close the Strait of Hormuz. We're closing the Strait of Hormuz. I don't understand. We're trying to slow down the global economy to force your hand. You're trying to force my hand? To do what? Okay. I blockade your blockade. We're not letting ship traffic go through. We aren't either, you fucking idiots. I got you. I'm not mad, you're mad. I'm not mad, you're mad. What? You're not destroying the global economy. I am. So if one of our allies tries going through the blockade, what are you going to do? Like, we'll have to blow it up? I don't know. A Chinese oil tanker. Are you going to do that? You're going to do that? You're trying to do what to my hand? Have you thought this through? Hey, watch your tone. Or we'll send J.D. Vance back over there to negotiate it. I'm sorry. I'm glad we can still laugh. You're very bad at this. Yes.
That was amazing. Chat, if you want to give that clip love, here's the link. Oh shit. Tremendously, this is America. We use Bigly. True. All right, chat. Y'all ready for Hogwatch? Are y'all ready for Hogwatch? Fuck. God damn it. I can't copy the title of the video. There we go. Ah. Is 1095B a federal or state form? Federal. That's for your healthcare, if I remember correctly. It has something to do with like healthcare premiums. Also, you could Google 1095B and I think it pops up. Your healthcare provider should have sent that to you. And if you're getting your healthcare through your employer, they also should have provided that for you. I trust you more than Google. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, it's healthcare coverage. How crazy is it that I recognize the fucking form number? That isn't really a hot take. My health insurance sent me a denial of payment letter for one of my doctor's appointments. Very cool. Yeah, that's kind of what they do, Addy, unfortunately. There was this whole thing about it. But anyway, chat, I trolled Daily Wire with Jolly Good Ginger. With Walter Masterson. The fuck, and I've never gotten a letter. I just find out when the bill goes to collections. That's so fucked up, kidda. I'm on a medical assistance, so I tend to not get them as much. I've been very fortunate. That's good, Daddy. I mean, I mean, it's better that you don't get that as often, but like I get my shit denied all the time, which is one of the reasons I pretty much don't ever go to the doctor anymore.
My first guest is a liberal comedian. He's known for his undercover style.
Chat, I'm gonna take a leak real quick. I'll be right back.
Rallies. Walter Masterson.
You have been fed a lie of racial capitalism by the Epstein class.
My second guest has a TikTok following almost as prodigious as his beard. Please welcome the Jolly Good Ginger.
So, what's your question?
Jolly Good Ginger and I went on Daily Wire's bar fight with Michael Knowles. I'm going to show you some of the highlights. If you want to watch the whole thing on their channel, go for it. I'm going to show you the funniest parts of this debate.
Just want to say something. I brought my Trump Bible with me. I just want to say, you know, a lot of liberals come on this show and they're very disingenuous. They like to cherry pick from the Bible to justify illegal immigration. Jolly, here, listen, these liberals, they come on this show and they cherry pick Bible verses to justify illegal immigration. What Bible verses do they cherry pick?
You know, that what you do to the least of thee, you've done to me.
Yeah.
Welcome foreigners from foreign lands.
Love the foreigner.
Yeah.
But, you know, I will say, just to be fair.
Love thy neighbor.
You know what they do? They conveniently leave out this part, okay? This is from the Bible. I'm reading the Bible, excuse me.
Bow your head.
They've become far too numerous for us. Come, we must deal shrewdly with them, or they will become ever more numerous. And if war breaks out, we'll join our enemies. So get them up and out of the land.
Hang on.
Yes.
Hang on. Walter. The Pharaoh said that, bro.
Yeah, this is from the Pharaoh. He was talking about how to deal with the Jews.
Yeah. That wasn't Jesus. That was the Pharaoh.
Wait, and then what happened?
And you guys all sided with him. That was the best part.
Yeah.
Haven't had anything approved in 5 years. Hell yes, I've been meaning to see this. I saw this the other morning. I was seething instead of laughing. Well.
You know what? I think we need to stop listening to socialist, leftist Jesus.
Yeah.
And start listening to the Pharaoh. Okay, you know what? Jesus was a carpenter.
You know what? I would not mock our Lord at the beginning of Lent or at any other time.
The pyramids of Giza. What did Jesus build? He was a carpenter. Show me one building that he made. All right. Meanwhile, the Pharaoh built the pyramids of Giza. Okay. Huge buildings. Yeah. We need to start listening to the Pharaoh. This is the Trump Bible, by the way. I will not have you.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. This is so cringy. We're going to have some laugh, though. I was watching the whole thing instead of the highlight reel, though. Oh, that would be why you're seething. Yeah. I'm glad we're watching only the highlight reel.
You disparage.
Hi. So with the SAVE Act in the Senate, a lot of people on the left are worried
Conservative says there should be tests for voting, so I tested her.
that it will take away the rights of women to vote because of marriage certificates and all that. And my argument would be it's already too easy to vote. And if you can't change paperwork and do paperwork, then you shouldn't be able to vote. Voting is a privilege in America.
So smart.
And
it's great. That's a great point.
Dude, is this all it takes to be a conservative commentator? Is just after they say the most unhinged thing ever, they just go, so smart. So smart. What the fuck?
So I would also add on that maybe the SAVE Act doesn't go far enough in terms of we need people who
Is this serious?
I know.
Yes, they are fucking serious, Blake. Yeah, I don't know why you haven't taken this approach. True. Just say so smart to the most dumbest things ever. Oh my God. dude, like, let's say, based, like Asmongold. Let's just say I get prominent enough. If I got invited to whatever this fucking is with Michael Knowles, who's definitely probably secretly gay, but that's up to him to come out of the closet for. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to survive this.
I know. That have invested in, like, that are invested in the future of the country, whether that's through taking civic tests or other means of showing you're invested in America's future.
This is beautiful. I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Voting should be more difficult.
So you should believe there should be, okay, this is a great question. You should think there should be a test.
Yeah,
okay.
That would be good.
Okay,
to
great.
show basic
Who is
history.
the 17th president of the United States?
Chat! Who's the 17th president of the United States? Who was it? Who was it, chat? I know this. Chat, who was it? You lose people using fact and numbers and words like tremendous. True. I got to start using bigly. Chat, it's Andrew Johnson. Because Lincoln was the 16th president and he was fucking shot and killed, and Andrew Johnson was his VP. And Andrew Johnson became president. Tony Blair.
Like
what is the...
You just failed. Yeah.
Hang on, what are the three
I want to say Grover Cleveland or some shit.
branches of government?
What are the 3 branches of government?
I think she'll probably get that one.
Yeah.
If she can't answer it, that's bad.
Okay, but Witt says if she
Who
can't
gives
answer
I
that's
agree,
based.
but she said it. Listen, also, hang on.
Jesus Christ. Are you fucking kidding me? You don't know the 3 branches of government? And you want civics test to be able to vote? And you can't fucking pass? You can't answer the 3 branches of government? Like, come on. I mean, to be fair, we had an Andrew Johnson and an Andrew Jackson, yes. To be fair, though, most of the conservatives wouldn't pass the civics test, too. So maybe that would actually help defeat conservatives. Norby Patel. I want to say Grover Cleveland. No, it's Andrew Johnson.
You said so smart when she said voting is a privilege. I argue vehemently.
No.
She said voting is a privilege. That's her exact words.
That's not what I said so smart
Roll the
to.
tape back.
That's exactly what you said, you fucking dumbass.
I said, well, I'll clarify for you.
Okay,
I said it was so smart that it's too easy to vote, and actually people should have
It's a constitutional right, not a
believe there should
privilege.
be a test?
We should make it easier to vote, not
I
harder.
think there should be IDs, and if you're calling an application
You're against
for that,
making it harder to get.
Brother, you literally can't register to vote without a social security number. Like, what? Unironically, immigrants know the answers to more of these questions? Yes. The people that test for U.S. citizenship literally know the answer to these questions better than most Americans. Because they have to pass this in order to get their citizenship.
Guns, but making it harder to vote is...
Yeah, way too many people vote.
Way too many people
vote. Yeah.
Way too many people vote. Chat, 50% of the American population votes pretty much every election season. 50% of eligible voters vote in the elections, but that's way too many people. But these conservatives say it's way too many fucking people because they don't want more people to vote. Because if more people vote, then they fucking lose. Because nobody likes their fucking policies, which is why they have to create all these right-wing think tanks to propagandize the American population and be like, oh yeah, no, these issues and policies that we would like to implement are actually like really popular. Like abortion, that's actually like a 50-50 thing. It's definitely not 75-25 of leaving it as Roe versus Wade. South Africa does that. There should be IDs, which there doesn't have to be. The U.S. should provide free IDs for every citizen. South Africa does that. Yes, I agree, Paul Wall. But that would involve actually providing a government service, and that's communism. That's communism. Communism bad. My history teacher in high school gave us a citizen test, and none of us passed. Don't we have the lowest voter turnout for any country with free elections? I don't think so. Japan's is 56%. Where the... Okay, stop being weird. Let's see. Russia's 51%, Japan's 53%. Tunisia is 11.4%. That was 2023. I'm pulling that memory from high school, so it may have changed. Would have been like 2012 or something. Way too many people vote. Jordan's 30%. Let's see. Ireland's 60%, which is pretty fucking good. Oh, I think we had like 66% or something. Yeah, we had 64% in 2024. And then in 2020, we had 67%, which were both, well, so the 67% was a record.
Way too many people.
Bro, that's an absurd comment.
I don't think so. I think it's a pretty
Too
basic
many
one.
people vote.
Way too many. Yeah.
Wait,
we need much.
I'm gonna do
we
the-
need
the
people who are
24th
informed.
Amendment.
to vote.
People should vote.
No.
Imagine the percentage rises when it's dramatic. I mean, the percentage has been pretty much going up most elections. But like Trump being on the ballot in 2020 and how horrible things were during his first term, that got a lot of people out registered to vote. Also, registering people to vote during Black Lives Matter movements and protests and everything like that, that was also big. And then 2024, it was kind of a repeat of the same thing, like trying to get people to get out and vote against Donald Trump, or people voting for Trump when Trump was like, oh, I'm going to promise you to give you all the good stuff, but people fucking forgot how horrible Trump one was. So.
Not enough people vote now.
Okay, all right. That's over.
Who here
Do
knows
we have
this? I
any
want
more?
everybody to
Do
vote.
we have any more questions?
We let you vote?
Yes. I think.
You
Yeah.
have 130 IQ. And you're cool with not letting people vote.
Wait, is this proof that he has 130 IQ?
I don't know.
There we go, baby. A Mensa member right there.
That does not mean.
Wait, what? The card means that he has 130 IQ? They hand out cards now for Mensa members? Bro pulled out the Mensa card? Do those exist? No. Are these real? No. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's real. What? It's just a card that proves how annoying he is? Yeah, and believing in an IQ test. Okay, so this is Google AI, but I'm seeing confirmation on like the Mensa website. Mensa card generally refers to the membership card issued to individuals who score in the top 2% of... Oh. Wait, you... Mensa International High IQ Society? Oh my God. They have Mensa cards. It only takes 130 IQ. I could be a Mensa person easily. You get the card when you pay the membership fee. Oh my God. Oh my God. American Mensa members gain access to high IQ community, local events, magazine, and for $576 fee, a lifetime membership card, pin, and certificate. Oh my God. Oh my God, chat. Dude, it's a fucking scam. It's a scam. And it's literally to scam people that are quote unquote low IQ and they're fucking stupid. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is. IQ Curious, join the club. Did you know that more than 6 million people in the U.S. alone qualify for Mensa? That's 1 in every 50. Maybe don't even realize it, but if you're reading this, you've probably wondered. If you're 14 or older, you could take a supervised, standardized test with certified member volunteer at one of our 400-plus approved private testing centers nationwide. Prefer to skip the test, you can submit prior scores from the SAT, Stanford Binet, or COG AT. Score in the top 2%, and congratulations, you qualify for American Mensa. All that's left is to pay your annual dues and join a community of the brightest minds around. I can't believe this is fucking real. Dude. I don't. It's such a good grift. I can't. I can't believe this is real. I really wanted to poop sock you with a link, but I don't want to get banned for 30 minutes. Yeah, that's a good idea. This is the kind of thing I was into when I was 9. It's like a union for annoying idiots. Mensa. Oh, bro is so proud to whip that out like no one asked. Yeah. Jamie Loftus, the comedian, took it as a joke and got in. And then she just wrote an article about how they're all a bunch of far-right chuds. That's amazing. That's amazing.
You have 130 IQ. But
Wait,
anyway,
they gave you a Mensa.
Do we have another question at the microphone?
People vote is a constitutional violation.
Yeah, 24th Amendment, the right of citizens of the United States to vote in any primary.
If you want everyone to have an ID, issue it to them for free. Otherwise, you are violating the 24th Amendment.
Other election for president or vice president, for electors for president or vice president, or for senator or representative in Congress should not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state.
I'm just saying they shouldn't.
Failure to pay any poll tax.
I'm just saying
poll tax or other tax.
I'm just saying low information voters should not be encouraged to vote. Next question.
We've been through this in American history, brother.
Yeah, low information voters should not be.
They should not be encouraged to vote.
How are you going to be a far-right straight man and join Mensa? This won't matter when J.D. Vance burns the Constitution. No, it's Jake Paul. Jake Paul is burning the Constitution. I'm the member of the Boopsa.
Oh, yeah, that's
Listen,
true.
do you guys want to lose
next question,
every election
please.
going forward?
Walter, kick us off.
True.
Trump essay.
I repeated myself when I went to check spelling of her name. I did. I saw it no more. My bad, Jake Paul. Low information voters is just a cover for low income voters. Yes. Yes, it is.
Children, and it's proven in the Epstein files he should be in prison. Also, in general, round up everyone in the Epstein class and toss them in jail.
I just want to be clear. You said Trump SA'd, meaning sexually assaulted.
Sexually assaulted.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what's your argument?
My argument is that we should stop listening to all the people and their conspiracy theories from the Epstein.
What is the Chud YouTube channels and Stadium Rock, that boom clap type rock? Because it triggers it. It triggers it in the mind of the sports fan. You remember the club that doesn't have to see the top of the hour break? Are you? Are you a member of it? Because it's like the bottom of the hour. But that'd be really good at the top of the hour.
Epstein class, all the conspiracy theories, the QAnon, all this, the protect the children. That was all created by the Epstein class. You've been fed that. That was created.
A conspiracy within a conspiracy. Whoa.
Conspiraception.
Dude, it's literally in an email. It's in an email, and they started it the next fucking day. God damn, I can tell I'm getting old. I had to zoom in on the W-2. Wait, when you get the W-2, don't they give you a page that's like super blown up?
Okay, so then your claim is that Trump sexually assaulted children. So what's your proof? What's your evidence?
Just the Epstein files.
What specifically in the files?
Just a PDF.
Let's get the Epstein files.
Yeah, my W-2. I was about to bring it up. Which would have been really bad. That would have doxed me. My W-2 has 2 like smaller ones, and then the second page, it has a big one.
Do you have any evidence for the claim you're making, or no?
I
only get one size.
Besides the Epstein files, I mean, God, there's only like 50,000 pages in it. I mean,
There's 3.5
besides-
million pages.
Post your W2 in chat.
But is
No,
there
don't do
anything in
that.
particular you would
Don't do
cite
that.
from the Epstein files?
God.
No,
Or you just
no,
making
we're
it up?
We're just they're
sorry,
bringing
Paul
in the
Wall.
Epstein files
We're
right
not
now.
we're not
did
doing
not
that.
know that I was going to have to bring my portable Epstein files with me to the debate. I was unaware that I was going to have to do chapter and verse. That's on me. Here's my notes from home.
Do I get a
that
big one when I turn 33 or something? No. Maybe it's just
totally
my
should have
job.
brought. Michael Wolff interviewed Epstein extensively. And in those interviews, Epstein said that he was Donald Trump's closest friend and that he liked to cuck people's wives. Epstein claimed that Donald Trump met his wife, Melania, through Jeffrey Epstein. According to him, the first time they had sex was on Epstein's private plane, nicknamed the Lolita Express. The Epstein files confirms that Trump met Melania through Epstein. Trump's friend, Paolo Zamponi, who runs ID Model
I
Management,
can't get a grasp on this guy's accent. I mean, are you talking about repeating his accent? Because isn't he a New Yorker?
tried to cover for Trump and claim that he introduced Melania. You can actually look at the emails between Ghislaine Maxwell and Melania several years before they met to show that Ghislaine and Melania were good friends.
John
There are
Malkovich?
28 women that have accused Trump of essay, and the timeline that they accuse him matches the timeline that Trump and Epstein were besties. Trump and Epstein were friends up until 2004. Trump and Epstein had a falling out in 2004 over a real estate deal. And the FBI published a tip sheet detailing allegation that 35 years ago in New Jersey, a 13 to 14-year-old girl was forced to perform oral sex. She also alleges to have been abused by Epstein. The link to this was pulled off the DOJ site before it was taken down. The same complainant followed up with a report that she was 13 years old and pregnant in 1984. Donald Trump paid her and forced her to perform sex acts and alleges
Jesus
Trump
Christ.
was present when her uncle murdered her newborn child.
Jesus fucking Christ.
There is a court document alleging that a 14-year-old girl was taken to Mar-a-Lago in 1994 with Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein said to Trump, "This is a good one, right?" Trump smiled and nodded in agreement. They both chuckled, and the 14-year-old girl said it made her
I follow this weirdo on Twitter who's been yapping about Paulo Zampoli for ages. Kind of creeped out that he's sort of right. Who is Paulo Zampoli? Should I know that?
uncomfortable, but at the time she was too young to understand why. In 2020, a state attorney sent an email to Redacted stating that Trump has been to Epstein's Island many more times than previously claimed, and that flight logs have him traveling there with girls that were witnesses in the Ghislaine Maxwell case. Trump's name appears in the files an extraordinary number of times. The Democrats on the committee to release these files say it's an extraordinary number of times. We haven't confirmed that number because we only have what's been released. Off of what's been released, it's, I think, over 3,000 times. It's a lot. An NPR investigation found that
He's some dipshit intermediary who introduced all these people to pedo enabler. Jesus fucking Christ.
that DOJ removed or withheld Epstein files related to allegations against Trump, including what appear to be more than 50 pages of interviews with a woman who accused Trump of sexual abuse as a minor. Also, Trump has been resisting releasing the files. Not releasing the files, having Pam Bondi redact your name multiple times. These are all things that not guilty people do all the time. And
Yeah.
people say, oh, Trump has gone along with the investigation. No, he has not. He could have released all of the files by executive order last summer. He has not. He also could have just released all of them all at once, and then this would have died down.
Correct.
Possibly.
Correct.
Kind of like when Netflix
Correct.
releases an entire season and we stop talking about it after a few weeks. However, Trump
Okay. I don't know about that one. I'm still talking about One Piece live action. Also, fun fact, chat. Fun fact. The One Piece live action is actually an adaptation of the manga and not the anime. Just so you all know that, if you were wondering.
chosen the weird way, which is releasing it in these little chunks, a totally normal thing that not guilty people do all the time. And now back to your regular programming.
All right, thank you guys. This is a question for the panel for each person individually. Do you believe truth is objective?
Yes.
Wow, we're getting very philosophical. This is actually.
I want to say hi and I hear anime on Mama. Hi, Hollykins. And manga. Yeah. Hi, Hollykins. Welcome in.
A good debate.
What's your answer?
I mean,
I guess, yeah, truth. That's what objective means. It's true no matter what you believe.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's your answer?
God, I mean, yeah, what?
he said the Epstein files.
Yeah, the Epstein files. Yeah, that's yeah. Thank you.
What's up, Holly, brother? Brother!
Is that an answer?
It's the only answer I'm getting tonight, I guess. Okay.
Off to work now, but I hope you have a good rest of your stream. Thank you, Hollykins. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope work isn't boring for you.
I guess,
do we have another question?
We're getting into objective, materialism here. I love this. This is good.
And even objective immaterialism. Yeah. Do we any other questions?
Yeah, I believe in dialectic. We all need some dialectical materialism, and I think that's. I think everyone in this bar, you're booing dialectical materialism. Wow. Of all the things,
what is in this drink? I gotta know, and I want it. I want it, whatever that is.
Were you just trying to drink my Coke?
They're booing dialectical materialism because they heard that Marx talked about that. So that's bad.
No, I was trying to figure out what's it. Is that just Coke?
Yeah, I don't drink.
Every word you say astounds me even more. That is a beautiful thing. I agree. I'm not drinking either right now. Okay, do we have another question?
Yes. This is for either of our esteemed guests. You said that the files had not been released by Trump. I'm sorry, the files are released. Who was the president during the release of those files?
That's a great question. Repeat it.
Files have been released.
I want everyone to hear that.
What?
Walter doesn't drink too, yeah.
The question is, why didn't they release it under
No.
Joe Biden?
No. That's not what I said. I said, who was the president when they were released?
Who's the president?
They haven't
Walter doesn't drink too, kid. Did you hear that?
been released, brother.
Yeah, they actually haven't been released.
But you just cited them as evidence.
I'm 8 days sober today.
The only reason that they were compelled to release them because
I am 5 days sober, I guess.
Disingenuous.
That's literally what you did.
Hang on, Walter. Hang on, listen.
Okay.
So first of all,
apple cider.
There's rules to what you can and can't redact. This has been back and forth with Congress since it's been released. There's numbers of pages that.
Also, I'm pretty sure.
Released.
I'm pretty sure the Jolly Good Ginger is drinking a beer this whole time.
Been proven over and over again. That's why it's in front of multiple federal judges, because they haven't met the criteria for the Epstein Transparency Act. They haven't met the criteria for redaction.
Make
My
America
question to you and
Tennessee, no,
anybody
bro.
Who's on that side? I'm not even trying to talk shit to you. My question to you is, if you're interested in the truth, especially when it comes to fucking trafficking children, we should all at least agree on that shit. Then we should all be screaming for unredacted files, all of them.
There we go.
And if you can't get behind that, hang on. If you can't get behind that, then
I'm 25 years, 4 months, and 8 days sober. I feel sorry for you sober people. Because, like, I don't know. I don't even drink that much, so I can't even say, like, how do you get through life? I can't even say that.
you can defend your favorite pedophile all you want, but I want to see the evidence that he's not. And until then, all the victims that saying he is, I believe victims.
Which victims?
Okay.
Hold on, just before
I
he
drank
moves
15
on,
minutes
because
ago.
he keeps making a point that's not really a point. Which victims?
I love that Mormon flow.
Name them individually?
Yes.
Sorry I didn't bring their names. I don't have them.
Okay, so you don't know their names. You're just confident they exist because you saw them in the files that haven't been released yet,
not knowing
and you're
going
going
to
call Trump
doesn't mean I believe
crazy.
8 wives and 0 beers, baby. That's right.
Katie Thompson, is that one of them? Wasn't it Katie Thompson?
Katie
Me
Thompson.
not knowing them on the fly doesn't mean they don't
You
exist.
not knowing any of them or anything about the topic you brought up.
That's crazy. That's an insane fucking debate tactic. Oh, you don't know their specific names? You don't know the exact town that they live in? Therefore, oh, it's actually not credible. Like, that's...
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Tell me,
Do we have a question from Nick?
Tell me why you're cool with the files not being released in full, unredacted.
You talk about having evidence. Where did you get your
avoid that
evidence
every
on
time
the
I
files
ask
have
it.
not been
You
released?
avoid that every time I ask it.
I call me crazy. I actually don't think that think that criminal files should just radically.
Where did you get your evidence that the file didn't be released? This is what this dude fucking says. There's literally court fucking documents about this shit in the FBI tip sheets. FBI tip sheets probably aren't the best thing to use, but there's literally court documents alleging this shit. I'm like almost positive that Donald Trump, in the court of law, argued that you actually can't sexually assault your wife because you're married.
Be released in all cases.
Alcohol is not halal, brother. It certainly isn't. Anyway, cheers.
No, I certainly don't believe that. That's why.
Yes, you do.
That's why I assure you I don't.
I assure you, you do.
No, well, if you say so.
The entire Trump campaign. Release the files. Release the files.
Have you ever?
He's in them.
Hey,
don't release the files. Hold the
up. Have you ever heard me say that we should release all criminal files?
Tonight,
there you go. But you're certain
why do you
know
say
what I believe.
you have evidence if the files have not been released? Tell me that. Where's your evidence coming from?
Files haven't been released.
Not to mention, you
Call
don't
me
have
crazy.
evidence. All you have are accusations.
I don't know who I'm talking to, but call me crazy. But when you fight to not have evidence released, I look at that as evidence of you hiding some shit. And when the shit you're talking about is raping children, I think maybe you're raping children. So if you're innocent, release the goddamn files.
Yeah.
If you're innocent, release the goddamn files.
One, we don't release all random accusations in all criminal proceedings. We do it basically none of the time.
It was your guy's idea.
I'm happy to explain this to you because in our system of justice, people are innocent until proven guilty, and that's why you have.
Ironically, Plank and I get super Muslim when we drink.
Trials. Second of all, the people who were seriously implicated in the Epstein ring, both of them were arrested by Donald Trump, not by Obama, not by Joe Biden, by Trump. It was Trump and Maxwell. The 4 other co-conspirators who trafficked the girls.
Someone in the Trump administration allowed Jeffrey Epstein to be free. Just for the record. So I'm editing audio, and for like 5 minutes, I was wondering why my audio was beeping. Turns out it's the sensor in the video.
We could have arrested. We can't because they were protected by a non-prosecution agreement long before Trump entered the scene. But even beyond all of that, the files were only released under.
Also, the non-prosecution agreement is what I'm talking about. I can't remember the person's name right now. Alex. Fuck, wasn't it like Alex Avila or something like that?
Trump, not under Biden, who easily could have done it.
So number one, I'm going to respond to you. Number one, you mentioned Ghislaine Maxwell, who Trump has been given lots of deals to. She's been out of prison.
Also, the Daily Wire's closed captions are so fucking bad. They're so bad. It's like they used the AI in the fucking editing software and just said, nope, we're not going to check it and verify that it's fucking correct. It just said Glenn Maxwell. Question, who do you think killed Jeffrey Epstein? So Epstein's cellmate was like a former cop or something like that. I think Donald Trump killed Jeffrey Epstein. Had him killed. Bill Barr was also involved with Epstein too. That's the other hilarious part. Bill Barr's dad literally hired Jeffrey Epstein to be a mathematics teacher. They're all tied together. I heard something about the guy who defaced his star. The previous guy that did that bailed the other guy out. Oh, defaced Trump star? Alec Baldwin.
On work release.
Lots of deals?
Yes.
What deals?
Yes. She got moved to a minimum security prison.
Yep.
You know, maybe that was
She's not like a face tattooed gangster or something. She's not going to.
She's a
I know people that have neck tattoos and face tattoos that aren't fucking criminals, that aren't fucking child traffickers. Dude, this fucking dude.
Child trafficking rapist.
Are you
pedophile
downplaying Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'm saying she's not like a threat to her family.
You fucking pedophile apologist. She trafficked children. Now,
face tattoos worse than child trafficking. Yeah.
You said she was found guilty, and what she's found guilty of is trafficking children. So then you say she's not a tattoo.
Yeah, look, I am glad that after Joe Biden did basically nothing, and after Obama did nothing.
About Joe Biden?
I'm just pointing out that the Republicans.
I don't give a about Joe Biden.
Did Joe Biden ever campaign against unreleased?
Hold on,
What
about Biden?
Was about releasing the Epstein files.
I'm just pointing out you're making a bunch of completely nonsense, unsubstantiated claims about Trump.
Nonsense.
And
You're accused of child.
Hold on.
There's files.
Just send me to prison at this point.
You don't exonerate them.
Remember the family in my scout troop who bought Epstein's Zora Ranch? That's a family who told me not everyone with a tattoo are criminals, but all criminals have tattoos. That's crazy.
You have Mr. Giant. You have a very
take a fast food face tattooed gangster over a child trafficker, actually, yeah, I would too.
Difficult time conversing with people because you don't know how to listen and you don't hear things when they go in your ear.
But you're not listening to anything they're saying. You're not listening to anything you're saying. You're pivoting every fucking talking point that you have. Jesus Christ.
Thank you, therapist Michael.
Oh my God.
Thank you,
They just
therapist
fucking project their insecurities on people.
But some people are a little beyond
They're
that.
not, you know, you need to learn how to. Yeah, it is. You need to learn how to listen. Keep going. Keep going. You're not
all right.
listening.
Nick, you're up.
Okay,
You're
okay. I have a
talking over
question.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter.
Someone
Thank you.
finally
Thank you,
said
Walter.
it.
I have a question. I'm very sorry to interrupt from the VIP section.
Yes.
It's very comfortable over here. But I have a very legitimate question. I hope I can get a very calm and collected answer to this. I was listening recently to a very liberal-leaning podcast. I won't say what for legal purposes, but it rhymes with Schmod Pave Pamerica. Okay, I was listening to it. You don't, yeah, okay. I was listening to it recently, and they were talking about the Epstein files. I'm really actually searching for a real answer to this.
Yeah.
And they brought up the fact that people ask, why were the files not released under the Biden administration? Why were they not released? Because if there was conclusive damning...
Because it would have been embarrassing for the Democratic establishment that Bill Clinton was all over the fucking files. That's why. Because there was Democratic donors, there's probably Democratic donors also in the Epstein files. That's why.
Evidence against Trump. I'm sorry to say damning.
Or anything.
Yeah, or anything. Why did Biden not release it? And the people on that podcast kind of scoffed at the idea of that question.
Let's follow the logic.
They didn't scoff.
Have to let people...
They didn't scoff at the idea. They didn't scoff at the idea. What they did, they reclaimed that the FBI and Merrick Garland were continuing to go through the files, considering there were millions of fucking files. That's what they did. I still kind of don't believe this is real. The Epstein files? Billionaires thinking that they never get caught for trafficking children? You think that Epstein was a psyop? Which, I mean, he basically was a psyop for Israel and his Israel connections and everything like that. This show? Oh, yeah. Yeah. This show is ridiculous.
We'll finish
But they kind of scoffed at the idea that anyone...
Also, they definitely plant the people in the fucking room here. For those that don't know, the Daily Wire moved from California to Tennessee, which is why it was easy to find these dumbasses all over the place.
Would ask that question. But really, I really am, in the spirit of finding it, I really don't know the answer to that question. If there was damning evidence against President Trump that was conclusive and probative evidence that Trump had done something, why did the Biden administration not release that evidence? Because they did everything else. I mean, with the Steele dossier and everything, they did everything,
The Steele dossier was 2016. It wasn't the Biden administration. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God, these people are so fucking stupid. They can't even make good arguments. I need to just become a conservative commentator. I make better arguments than fucking them.
Dirty trick they could against Trump. So why did they not release that stuff if there was something? Like, people kind of scoff at that question. I really don't know the answer.
Can you say it a fourth time? Because the first three I didn't. We got it, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically...
Do you want me to say it again real quick?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Go ahead. Let the guy cook.
Okay, so if I ask you, if I say, hey, there's this entire pedo ring, these guys were running the world, working with Mossad, and your initial response is, but what about the Democrats? That's the wrong response.
But that's not his question.
Okay, so but let's go to your response. Okay, so let's follow the logic here. So the Democrats were covering for Donald Trump.
No. That's not his implication either.
No, I'm following your logic.
That's not his logic.
Wait.
What he's saying is there's no evidence against Trump.
There were how many open investigations during the Biden administration? This is right now is the best time. There's no open investigations pending for the Epstein files. So this is the time. There's never been, like, what a time to be alive. There's never been a better time.
Are you going to answer his question or not?
Because there were open
Mr. Giant, are you going to answer his question?
Open investigations.
Okay, all right.
I don't want you to get upset, Michael.
Walter did not word that properly. Walter did not word that properly. He should have continued to point out that within the Epstein files, there were open investigations happening under the Biden administration. Also, Epstein literally died while Trump was in office. So that's probably when the federal government acquired the Epstein files. So willing to bet Donald Trump didn't open investigations, but Joe Biden did open investigations. So there's open investigations into it, which all ceased as soon as Donald Trump became president. That would have been a better way to word that.
That's good. I want to be able to hear your beautiful opinion.
You're interrupting everyone.
I know. So I'm going to be, so if there's evidence of a crime, what's actually supposed to happen is a law enforcement agency is supposed to investigate that crime and hold people accountable. I can't think before Epstein, what's another file that's been released by the government?
Yeah, not a lot. They delayed the Kennedy. Right. That's why Trump is the most transparent president in American history. Right.
Thank you for walking me right to my point. Good job, therapist Michael. Yeah. So watch this. So Trump ran, listen, I'm answering your question, brother. Trump ran on a campaign.
He's not answering your question.
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's see.
Are you going to let me finish this time?
No, I'm mad at you, Michael. Let the ginger answer.
Michael, let me finish.
I'd love
Listen. So Trump ran on a campaign of, I'm going to release the Kennedy files. I'm going to release the MLK files. He ran on a campaign of releasing these files. I disagree with that, to be fair with you. I think it should be handled by law enforcement. So never before in American history have we released files. But that motherfucker ran on it. So either shit or get off the pot. So
wait, so
when you say, hang on.
I'm so confused by the closed captioning. Every other curse word doesn't have the closed captioning in it, but that one just listed motherfucker. I'm sorry. This is my tism.
I'm not finished, Michael.
They should not. Trump should not release the files.
He ran on it.
But should he or should he not release the files?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
But Biden should not have released the files. Biden should not release the files, but Trump should.
What should happen is the FBI should investigate criminals, right? Right or wrong?
I agree.
Isn't that why Ghislaine Maxwell was put in prison?
Yeah, because Trump arrested her.
What year was that?
Trump. It was the end of Trump. So it was what, 2019, 2020.
When did she go to prison? 2021.
Well, she was convicted later, but she was arrested during the Trump.
Yeah, correct. But 2021, she went to prison.
Yeah, she was arrested and prosecuted under Trump.
So it was an open.
You notice the bell keeps ringing. You notice the bell rings when Walter or Jolly Good Ginger makes a good point. Glenn Maxwell, yeah.
Investigation in 2021.
Yeah. All right. I guess it's over.
In 2021?
All right, neither of them are going to answer the question. Up to you.
I answered the question.
You did not.
You just don't like my answer.
You didn't. You didn't answer. Your answer was Biden should not have released the files, but Trump should.
No,
didn't say that.
Question.
Run that tape back.
Yeah, run the tape back.
4. Round 2.
Mensa boy. Mensa boy. It's Mensa boy. Chat.
All right. Mr. Jolly, what is your topic?
I thought you would never ask. I do not believe that immigration is even in the top 10 problems facing America. Make my case?
All right, what's your case?
Okay. So currently what we're seeing across the country is immigration, customs enforcement bypassing a lot of constitutional norms.
Fifth Amendment.
Hang on, brother.
Yeah.
Bypassing a lot of jurisprudence. You know, we're seeing them arrest people for merely protesting their presence. We're seeing them deport people without the due process of immigration court. We're seeing them put people in inhumane conditions, a violation of the 8th Amendment. These are 4th Amendment violations, 1st Amendment. So we're seeing a lot of constitutional overreach. We saw the murder of Renee Good and Alex Pretty. Whether you want to decide that that was a justified murder or not, what's supposed to happen is an investigation. There's a process in place for that. There's the federal and state communication in that investigation. We saw the federal government shut that down. So when you see all of this literal trampling on the Constitution, all under the guise that we're being invaded by immigrants and that there's a 20, 30 million, whatever number you choose, illegal immigrants here that are committing all this crime.
It's kind of crazy that, like, they keep showing these video clips of the audience, and it looks like the audience is listening intently. Like, I don't think any conservatives would actually listen intently to this shit.
I argue there's no statistic to back that up. I argue there's no immigration crisis. Can I finish? I argue there's no immigration crisis in America that would justify us trampling over the Constitution to fix the problem.
Okay, can I ask you before I give my rebuttal?
Sure, man.
What was your actual prompt?
I fucking read it.
Can you repeat it?
Okay, cool, man. I do not believe that immigration is even in the top 10 problems facing America.
Okay, so I can't help but observe that you read that prompt and you say, this is my thesis, and then you made a bunch of arguments that have nothing to do with that thesis. You said that the immigration enforcement's unconstitutional. You said that they're murdering people. You said that they're unjust to the migrants. What'd you say?
This is your rebuttal to my argument?
Well, no, you did not.
He's not even doing debate lord stuff correctly. He's not even doing debate lord stuff correctly. If he was doing debate lord stuff, you should be like, oh, why didn't you list the top 10 problems in the United States? Like, dude. These conservative dumbasses are just like the dumb person, smart person. Like, I just... You're pushing back on the arguments that make me feel bad. Therefore, you're one of the smart ones. Like, and you're wearing a suit. Like, what the fuck?
Make your argument is the point I'm making.
What I'm saying is, when we suspend constitutional liberties, there needs to be a justified reason.
But that's not your argument.
That
you
is my
made.
argument. I'm telling you.
Hold on. Read that sheet of paper again.
I didn't print this piece of paper off.
But you wrote the question.
No. In my original write-up,
yeah,
I have way more than this.
Okay,
This is what your producers decided for me.
Okay.
So I'm reading it, but I'm telling you my fucking argument.
But
if we listen, I know you're scared to debate it, but
I'm trying to debate your point.
I'm making the.
Oh, you're a fan of America. Name the top 10 problems with America.
What is your... So, okay, I'll try to take multiple points here.
Okay.
So you say that immigration's not a top issue for Americans, right?
Correct.
That's your claim. Okay.
Correct.
So that would seem to be belied by every public opinion survey for the last 2 years or so. If you go back, not only is it in the top 10...
Okay, for the last 2 years, it has become a fucking thing because the Republican Party has not shut the fuck up about it for the last 25 fucking years. And then the Democratic Party decided to pivot into it and say, actually, the Republicans were correct this whole fucking time. They were correct this whole time, and immigration is definitely a fucking problem. Like, oh, this is so frustrating. Like, what the fuck is happening? Hey, type something in chat. My chat? Your chat? Hold on. I need to find your name. Oh shit, where are you? Oh, there you go. Doing the thing you wanted me to do? What are you doing? What are you doing, Giga? Also, I was cooking. Thank you, it worked. What worked? I'm confused. What did I ask you to do? The pronouns? Oh, yeah. Does the BTTV work too? Thing you sent me, yeah. Sweet. All right, you should see BTTV emotes now in your OBS, so you should be good. Good job. Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna go back to ranting, Giga.
It's usually in the top 3. You've got Gallup multiple times. You've got Convention of the Americas, Council of the Americas say it's number 1. You then have Gallup, Ipsos, CBS, YouGov.
Giga, thank you for the biddies.
Got Harvard Harris repeatedly saying it's number 2. This is before the election and after the election. And then when it's not number 1...
That's because both parties literally... That's because both parties were constantly fucking talking about it, which means... all news media kept constantly talking about it. Which every American's like, oh, well, the Republicans have been complaining about this for 20, 30 years now, and Democrats are talking about it too, so it must actually be a problem.
Number 2, it's number 3 for Americans, which is why Trump won the popular vote on running on immigration in 2024.
Opinion polls, right?
Their opinion polls.
Right. I said it's not an issue facing America. In real life, those same opinion polls, I believe America's like number 2 in the world for people who believe in angels, right? So like,
I also believe in angels,
okay,
because
cool.
they exist.
No, that's fine. I'm not bashing your belief.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is...
You're just pointing out that Americans believe a true thing.
No,
you're right, we believe a lot of true things.
This is fucking dumb. He just said angels are a real thing. They're definitely a thing. With zero evidence. He said it's a objective truth that angels are a real thing.
Let me finish. You're scared, right? So what I'm saying is you can't use an opinion poll as your backup that this is actually an issue facing America.
Do you think that Americans have the right to self-government?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, do you think that Americans have the ability and the right...
Are you going to ask? No, I don't want to answer your question.
Do you think
Make a
Americans
point.
have the
Don't ask me a
ability and the
question.
right to
This
perceive
isn't
the
an
problems in their
interrogation.
country?
Make your rebuttal. I'm not under interrogation.
That's part of my rebuttal.
Then make your point.
So you said that this is not a big issue facing America.
Nope.
I said, whatever you said there that you tried to read a couple times,
I get
whatever
it.
you said there...
I get it. Short-term memory, brother.
He's trying to make Jolly look stupid here. Saying like, oh, you tried to read it.
It's
You wanna
written
hold it?
down.
Here,
Yeah,
you
I'd like
hold
to read it.
You hold it.
I do not believe that immigration is even in the top 10 problems facing America.
Yeah.
America repeatedly says it's number one, and they voted for Trump
In
with a popular
opinion
vote
polls,
on
in
immigration.
opinion polls,
Yes.
in real life, it's not.
That's what the Americans think about their problems. Yes.
Okay, I love Walter and I love Jolly Good Ginger, but like if they're gonna do this stuff, they gotta be a little bit better. They gotta be a little bit better. Just like chatters need to be a little bit better at avoiding the top of the hour ad break. Because the top of every hour, I run a 3-minute ad. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription or get lucky and get gifted a sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, then hopefully it's one of my friends. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. Yeah, Michael's good at baiting them. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Michael Knowles is really good at like just bait and switch and everything. You got to keep your composure around this worm. Yeah. And he's really good at pivoting. He's really good at pivoting when you start bringing up good talking points and facts and good information. He fucking pivots everything.
Undocumented immigrants
No,
is
that's
not
what
why
the
you can't
Americans
buy a
think in their
house.
opinion polls.
BlackRock is why you can't buy a
Gallup,
house.
Ipsos,
Okay.
Harvard
You can
Harris,
say it, show me.
CBS.
You're just saying
How
that.
many undocumented
What do you
immigrants
mean,
work
show
at
you?
BlackRock?
Hold on. Wait, hold on. What
An
our pal's
opinion poll-
interjecting here?
Opinion poll has all to do with facts.
Your confusion is that problems facing Americans are perceived by the Americans themselves.
Okay, if the American populace perceives that the sky god is allowing planes to put chemicals in the sky, do we have to believe that? Do we have to believe that? If that's the perception of Americans? Like, if we go back to the 1500s or whenever the fuck that time period was when people thought the earth was a fucking cube, Americans perceive that the earth is a fucking square? That the earth was flat? Do we have to... Oh, God, there's a lot of Americans that think the earth is flat. I guess I can't use that as an example right now. Like, if all Americans start perceiving that the sky is green, right? Do we have to consider that objective fact? Like, it's fucking crazy. Also, this is the same person that says too many people vote. In order for his opinion to be correct, the reason why democracy is supposed to work is because you're supposed to have a majority of the votes on quote-unquote truth, right? So wouldn't that mean you'd want more people to vote and have more people perceiving things so you can actually make the correct decision for society and not have less voters?
Because we have a
The
self-government.
problems facing America are low income, no health care, education system, poor infrastructure, housing crisis, costs, all of these things. Every American here, I don't care what your partisan politics are, everybody in here knows we don't get paid enough. We work hard for our money. We don't get to go to the hospital when we're sick. Half of us have to choose between dying of diabetes.
Illegals go for free. That's true.
When we're sick, half of us have to choose between dying.
Debunking the myth that illegals get free healthcare. Gotta go. Good night, all. Good night, Bite Sync. Have a good night. Have a good badge.
Of diabetes.
Illegals go for free. That's true. If you were an illegal alien, you could go to the hospital for free. Unfortunately, you're an American. It's tougher for you.
So hang on, stop. How do illegal aliens?
Also, that's like emergency rooms. Everybody can go to the emergency room for free because otherwise you would fucking die.
Aliens go to the hospital for free. How do they do it?
They show up to the hospital and they go for free.
Where? What hospital? How?
Any hospital in
Nope,
America.
there's an answer to this question. Hang on. There's an answer to this question. How does an illegal alien go to the hospital for free?
He probably hitches a ride with Paco, his roommate, and then he shows up and he says, "Hola, I would like some medicino, por
How
favor."
does someone who's here illegally go to the hospital for free?
Dude, isn't he Latino too? Isn't Michael Knowles Latino? And he just did the most racist shit ever. Also, he's playing with his ring, which means he's fucking nervous. He's playing with his ring, which means he's fucking nervous that he's not gonna have a good talking point against Jolly Good Ginger right here.
He just does. He walks in the door.
The answer to the question Michael can't answer is he goes to the emergency room.
Hola, I would like some medicino por favor.
That's the hospital.
Right.
Yeah,
You can do that too. So when you say that we can't do it, that's a fucking lie.
Yeah, but we get charged.
Illegal
We get charged, and we pay for it through our insurance premiums.
Everybody pays for it. Illegals have a net
Illegals
positive
don't pay
on this.
insurance premiums.
Also, I don't like that we keep using their fucking terms, illegals. Just use undocumented. Just use undocumented. I know that's a very lib thing to do, but when you're listing undocumented immigrants as illegals, it triggers people's minds that that kind of migration, that migration in general is a bad thing.
Premiums. They don't.
Neither do anybody that goes to the ER.
I pay
so you're
insurance
making a
premiums.
disingenuous
When I go,
statement.
I pay insurance premiums. I can go to the ER.
Okay, what about all the people that pay into all the government programs they can't take advantage of because they're undocumented?
The illegal aliens are net takers on.
Undocumented immigrants pay $100 billion a year into Social Security and Medicare and are not eligible for these benefits.
Welfare by a country mile. They are.
They can't collect welfare because they're undocumented, you dumb motherfucker. They're undocumented, which means they can't collect welfare. Oh my God, they're so fucking stupid.
That's factually untrue.
61% of immigrant-led households.
So when you say they can go to the hospital and we can't, it's a disingenuous lie.
No,
and when you talk about how much
for free.
When you talk about how much medical debt in America is contributed to undocumented, it's less than 2%.
Right, they just
so if
take
we had
it.
a better
They
healthcare
just
system,
take it.
if
They
we had a
don't
better
encourage it.
healthcare system, if we had a better healthcare system, then everybody would go to the hospital and there would be no medical debt. But instead, we let insurance companies us while you complain about fake ass problems.
Yeah. But Michael, how much do you think undocumented immigrants pay in taxes every year?
Well, it depends on what kind of tax.
I bet you won't sit me down.
Yeah. How much? No. How much do you think they pay in income tax every year?
Well,
how much do you think they pay into Social Security, Medicaid?
You're talking about the ones who commit federal crimes by stealing Social Security numbers to pay into them?
I'm talking about ones who get an ITIN number.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a little bit
ITIN.
different. Yeah.
That is a perfectly.
Undocumented immigrants pay taxes through ITIN, which is why ICE seizes IRS records to track them down. Yup.
Undocumented
And they're hitting the bell when they're bringing up good talking points again.
immigrants.
Some
pay
illegal
taxes
aliens. No, then I'll answer your question.
ITIN.
Some illegal aliens.
$100 billion.
I'll answer your question if you want. Some illegal aliens do pay some taxes, but they're net takers on our social welfare system.
That's not true.
Okay, we have a question.
Into Medicaid
Question
and
from the
Social
microphone.
Security. The real topic, in my opinion, who here thinks that white people are being replaced?
Like,
hands
you know,
up.
the demographic shifting in America to
That
reduce the
white people
proportion
are
of white
being-
people?
yeah, they're
Yeah,
being
for sure,
replaced.
obviously.
There we go.
Obviously, yeah.
Okay, that's the
Yeah, that's why they keep moving the goalpost on the definition of white people and why Hispanic people are considered white people now, so that you can maintain your white majority. Chat, I joke about this all the time, that I'm a person of color because I'm Irish and Italian. Like, literally 100 years ago, an Irish person wasn't considered white.
that's
Nor an
the real
Italian person.
conversation behind all of this, because we've, progressive.
Benjamin Franklin also thought that German people weren't considered swarthy. Sorry. The German people were considered swarthy, meaning that they weren't considered white. He also was going to classify French people as not considered white, but he liked fucking French women.
Have gone back and forth saying they're a net positive, they don't commit crime, they do all this. There's all
Yeah, we're
this
just pointing out it's a violation
However-
of federal
however,
law.
the biggest issue underlying all of this is we are being replaced. Okay, You have been fed a lie of racial capitalism by the Epstein class.
Oh,
okay?
brother.
They have fed you this lie. Okay? They love the Epstein class, the billionaire class loves that you're focusing on immigrants, not the corporate oligarchy right now. They love it.
Rumors bubbling that ISIL army of Syria is now talking about taking back the Golan Heights, by the way. Which could turn out to be the funniest thing ever. That would be kind of funny.
Corporate oligarchs do love mass migration. They do. They support
love
it.
that you're talking about this. They love when you put smoke screens up. They love when you're talking about trans people. They adore it. It gives them political and social cover. You've been fed a lie of racial capitalism, that the more one person gets, more one marginalized group gets, the less everyone else gets. Yeah, that's the lie you've been fed.
Okay, so hold on.
Racial
I have a little.
capitalism.
Okay, I have another thought. So it seems to me we should close the border and.
I mean, I kind of like that, like, Walter has become more radicalized over the last several years. But, like, you need to be better at this stuff. I understand you don't get better at this stuff. You don't get better at being on your toes and everything in person. And I know I would probably flub shit. I would probably flub shit if I was in situations like this that I wouldn't quite get it right. But, like, there's better arguments that could be made. And I hope Walter figures out how to condense these talking points and sees the tactics that these people will use against them. And I hope he becomes more effective doing this. Because I'm not gonna lie, Chad, this is kind of hard to watch. And Kidda, I don't know how you fucking watched the entire thing.
Enforce federal immigration law that both parties have passed, because that's the law and that's conducive to the common good, and that's what self-governments are supposed to do. At no point have I ever been whispered to by the racially capitalist Epstein class that tries to hypnotize me into talking about transvestite Venezuelans in order to, like, I think it's a little simpler than that.
The billionaire class loves when you bring up transvestite Venezuelans and do all.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. We didn't bring up the trannies.
I can't be that angry in the morning. Yeah. And then using the fucking slur. Which old head trans people use, apparently.
Didn't bring up the trannies.
You're
You
about
got
to. It's
the
right
left.
here.
The left brought up the trannies, and we responded. So if you guys just lay off.
I mean, that's not true. That's not true. It was literally a right-wing think tank that pushed that shit out.
And stop trying to push the tranny stuff. I won't talk about it, and then you're...
Dude, he has an Ash Wednesday cross on his fucking forehead. You're supposed to wipe that shit off. Oh, God, these fucking fake Christians.
Epstein billionaire.
Also, brother, you're a Catholic. You're not on the team. Brother, you're a Catholic. You're not on the team. You're not on the team. The only Christians on the team are fucking Protestants. You're a Catholic. You're not on the team.
Our class won't have anything on us.
Dude, your viewership will, like, drop overnight.
If we don't
stop
talk about the
talking
trannies?
Dude, what
You guys
would
are
Daily
obsessed
Wire
with
be if
trans
they
people.
stopped talking
Yeah.
about trans
You guys are
people?
obsessed with
I don't
trans
know.
To be fair, Daily Wire view numbers have fucking plummeted. They have plummeted since Candace Owens left. And Daily Wire can't actually, like, retain their audience because they have no motion anymore. You see it with Ben Shapiro videos. He's not getting millions of views. Barely getting hundreds of thousands of views. He's not getting nearly as many video views as they used to.
They'd be like, done. They'd be like,
You
"Ow."
especially.
So, I'm a mackerel snapping
Where we
papist
at?
as well.
Love
So,
that.
from my end, I believe that every human deserves the dignity and respect that is deserved because God gave that to us. That being said, there are things that other people do that take the dignity and respect away from everybody else that is also here currently. Example being, if you
ICE.
take the immigration issue, which you say is not a big issue, and then talked about how it's a big issue, but if you take that into account, you realize that when you have an infrastructure here that has not been built to withstand 20 million people that came here, some of which...
The infrastructure is dog shit because we're relying on the infrastructure built from the New Deal. Because we didn't invest in the infrastructure. Instead, we invested in billions and billions of dollars in the fucking military. and bombing brown people in the Middle East.
Majority of which, depending on which figures you look at, came here in the last 4 years. We don't have the ability to maintain that from a housing perspective, from a food perspective, from an economy perspective.
We have so much fucking housing. We have so much housing, chat. We have so much housing. We have so much room. We also need to build housing, but we have so much housing, so many empty houses now.
From a healthcare perspective, that is now disrespecting all the people that are here legally and that have gone through the processes appropriately. I have loved.
Brother, you got lucky that your father came in your mother and you got born in the United States. You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit to earn your American citizenship. Your dad came in your mother, and then 9 months later, you popped out. That's it. That's how you earn your citizenship. I just want to point that out.
Love and respect for all those people that have came here illegally because I care for them as human beings. However, if you're not coming here legally and going through the right process, it disrupts everything else going on. So if you want to talk about the dignity and respect of all those people that are struggling to afford rent, struggling to afford mortgages, struggling to afford groceries, that are here and have been born here for 3-4 generations, those people are having their rights disposed of based off people that are coming here illegally. So I understand your whole argument.
I'm sorry, what rights are you losing? What rights are you losing with people moving into the country? Which ones are you losing?
Argument is supposed to be it's not a big argument. That's because maybe you're losing the argument, but that's not a reality because it's hurting so many people that are here. I'm actually not from here. I'm from Minnesota, actually from California originally.
So again, you are an American citizen because your dad came in your mom's pussy.
You don't look Somali. That's so strange.
I know, right?
Interesting.
But I've seen all of this happen, and it's a. Don't get me wrong. I have the heart
95% of Somali Americans are American citizens.
for people. I want to do all of these great things for people that come and want the help. However, we also have to keep in mind the dignity and respect to everybody else around us. And when we just completely throw that out the window for a few million people, you disregard the other 310 million people that are here.
Okay, so can I respond?
Yes.
Okay. Let's say you have 20 million people in the United States that are here undocumented. If you get rid of all 20 million people, what do you think that does to the economy? Do you think those undocumented people are not working? Oh, wait, they think they're collecting welfare, but also taking all their jobs away. So, like, that's a bad question to ask.
Respond to that.
All right.
And just because so
hey,
far
brother,
there hasn't
can I
been
respond
any
now?
Just because there hasn't been any evidence actually thrown out there today, remember that 6 out of 10 women that came across the border were raped or sexually assaulted, most of them young girls.
Yeah.
So that's the first piece of evidence. You guys haven't done any of that today. That's a huge respect issue. And to me, that bothers me way more than almost anything else about everything else, is that you're allowing these women to be raped and sexually assaulted.
All right, what say you? What say you?
Can't now.
I can answer? Okay, finally. So check it out.
I bet statistically speaking that most of those people that are sexually assaulted by American citizens. But those women can't actually say anything because they're worried that they're going to get deported. That's my guess.
So I hear what you're saying. If you come here illegally, this, that. The problem is, number one, I'm going to say 3 things. Number one, ICE is detaining people who came here legally. ICE is detaining people from courthouses that are going through the legal process. ICE is detaining people who have, you might not like this fact, and I don't give a it's real life. ICE is detaining people who've been here legally for 10, 20 years. ICE is detaining people who are Native American to this land. Like, where are you going to deport them? They're indigenous to this land. So the problem is ICE is not simply kicking out people who are here illegally. Also, the other side of this conversation, which we pointed out with Reagan earlier, and a conversation that's been happening for 40 years is, what if you're not here, you're not a criminal, you're not violent? Can we just have a pathway to citizenship? That conversation's thrown out the window because
the Democrats betrayed Reagan on it.
Because these people are contributing to society. They are working. You got to pick your poison. They can't be getting detained from workplaces and they're living on welfare. Pick your fucking struggle.
Thank you.
They're literally doing both. Yeah, they're working illegally and they're using our welfare system.
About that.
I'm sorry. How are they literally doing both? It's either they're working a lot and contributing to Social Security and Medicare, which they can't collect, or they're lazy and they're collecting all the welfare, which they can't get because, again, they're undocumented. Which one is it?
Can do better.
The last thing I'll say about this gentleman's question, hang on, the last thing I'll say about the gentleman's question is, we got tons of money to go to war whenever, wherever. I'm a veteran of this country. I served in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Great, thank you.
And we got tons of money to go to war. We got tons of money to bomb.
Also, I wish you would have clapped back and be like, no, fuck you. Don't be cheering for Iraq and Afghanistan when we committed war crimes on the people of Afghanistan and Iraq.
Syria, and I watch homeless vets die on the streets of America every fucking day, and you're not taking a single dime out of any of that defense budget to get them off the streets. So if you say to me, we'll get the illegals out and solve all the problems, you're a fucking liar. It goes back to unhinged late-stage capitalism that's leaving people hungry, poor, and homeless.
Yeah,
okay, well,
and here's the other part. Here's the other part. Okay, so you talk about coming here legally. The agency that does legal pathway to citizenship, USCIS, that agency under Trump has been defunded.
Thank goodness.
That is that is the agency.
We take
that
way
helps
too
you
many
do
legal immigrants.
Legal pathways to citizenship.
Right. We need less of that.
Okay, so I'm finding out, just as a conservative commentator, I just got to say, way too many legal immigrants, way too many people vote, way too many illegal crimes. Like, is that all you got to say? Just way too many? Way too many, and just name something?
You need
much less legal immigration.
Okay.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
much less.
Okay,
we take away. It's 1 million a year, and then 3 million illegal. It's way too much.
I'm glad you're just being honest because the whole.
I'm always.
If you applaud defunding USCIS, then stop saying you support legal immigration. True.
Honest. What are you talking
fine
about?
with legal immigration. So I'm glad you're fine.
No,
with
I
being
want
honest
much
to
less
say,
legal immigration.
Fuck legal immigration. We don't want any immigration.
No,
at
just
all.
a little bit, only a tiny little bit. That's
There
true.
you go.
Now, to your point,
I actually applaud your honesty. So I love having.
You should listen to
Sounding the quiet part out loud.
Honest.
You know,
to your point, you made an interesting point, which is what about just very quickly, just to give the devil his due. You're very right. You know the not just veterans who are homeless, who are being left out because of drug addiction, because of untreated PTSD, because of a bad economy, but even other poorer Americans who are just going through a lot of problems. This is a big issue. It is worth pointing out that one of the biggest issues, specific
100% of rent increases in New York State and California are from immigrants. Michael Knowles.
Dealing with homelessness and housing prices, one of the biggest drivers is mass migration. This is agreed to. It is. So
where?
Well, in New York,
I'm
happy to answer. In New York and California, 100% of the rise in housing in rental prices.
100%.
I'm happy to.
100%. Your rent has gone up 100%.
No, you didn't let me finish my sentence.
No. 100.
He doesn't want.
So literally, no other reason that your rent has gone up. Zero other reason your rent has gone up. Not the fact that landlords are greedy fucking assholes, or corporations are buying single-family homes and renting them out, or the fact that Airbnb has exploded and doesn't allow housing to be actually used for fucking housing.
I want to hear the answer because it disproves his point.
You're telling me that rent has gone up because of legal immigrants, and that is 100%.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you listen, you might be able to hear the point I'm making. Okay. So the point, very quickly, before Mr. Tourette's over here interrupts again, is that the point over here is that 100% of the increase in rental prices in New York and California.
100% of the rent.
All right.
I want to hear
He doesn't want to hear
the shit.
Okay. I'll try to finish it. So 100% of the rental increases in New York and California are attributable to mass migration. Now, New York and California are particularly bad for this, but 60% of the rental increases nationwide are attributable to mass migration. And the proof, by the way, of the economic models is that 6 months in a row, month over month, rental prices have declined, directly corresponding with the mass deportations. How do you...
Oh my God, that's not even that's not how correlation works. You literally need to do statistical modeling with that shit. Oh my God, just looking at trends doesn't mean that that's fucking correct. Oh my God, NYC rent did not go down in 2025. It went up. I was not prepared to defend such a categorically false talking point. So can we add ableism to the list? Yeah, I was going to mention it, but there's so much other fucking shit.
Explain that.
Because causation. Can I explain it?
A two-bedroom.
You can. I don't know if he can, but you can.
$12,000 a month.
You asked me a question.
Because of immigrants.
Hang on. There was a study done one summer where the amount of ice cream sales went up and the amount of thief went up. Does that mean that more ice cream sales mean more thieves? Like,
right.
You're taking two things.
Also, unironically, when the temperatures get higher, crime tends to go up. So does ice cream sales. Not to step on Jolly Good Ginger, but
You say that the causation and the correlation are equal, and they're not.
But sometimes there are correlations,
Sometimes there are. And this,
sometimes there are, but you literally have to do the statistical analysis to determine if it's correlation or not.
There's not.
So how do you explain 6 month-over-month declines in rental prices?
You would have
directly corresponding, even though you say it doesn't. It wasn't caused by
Ice cream causes crime. Yeah, exactly.
Directly corresponding to mass deportations. How do you explain it?
Reframe your question.
6 month-over-month decreases in the cost of housing directly correlated to removing the people who take up all the housing.
I don't think they're correlated at all.
Also, you can't buy a house if you're undocumented. You literally need... How do undocumented people go to the banks? How do undocumented people literally go to the banks and buy houses and get loans? How do they submit financial paperwork to landlords and whatnot to verify everything to get housing?
Let me.
They're not correlated. You're making them correlated.
Hold on. Let me. I'll put it in
at the same time.
I'll put it in even simpler terms.
Blue cars.
I'll put it.
Like you're just taking two things and making them correlated.
I'm taking two things that seem like they're related, and I'll at least point out.
Who made them related? You did.
I'm trying to ask. No, I think they are related.
You could say 20, 30%.
I'm just trying to clarify this for you guys.
And it would sound. You said 100% of rental increases in New York City are from
New York State and California. You still were not listening, even after like the fourth
You said 100% in California and New York.
time I said it, you still weren't listening.
I was being
to
generous.
your point. Hold on,
That's
Mr.
even
Giant.
dumber.
Mr.
New
Giant
York's-
is engaging
no.
a little bit more here.
Michael,
so
stop.
hold on. Let me. Hold on.
New York State
no.
and
Hold on.
California.
I'm trying to make this point for him.
100% of the rental increases as a two-bedroom in.
Do people think these NYC apartments are expensive because of undocumented immigrants? Dude, $34,000 a month? What the fuck?
My town costs $12,000. I not. And that is because of immigrants.
In part, yeah.
There is a
Okay.
high-rise across the street from me.
Getting
It's
back
a
to your point.
$12,000 two-bedroom, and that's $12,000 because of immigrants.
You know,
it
Lent
was
is-
$8,000 last year.
Lent is a time when we're told to practice patience, and I'm doing my very best.
You said 100%.
I have a question for the gentleman in the redneck costume. I saw that you made a claim that was to the effect of, you know, Americans and the issues we're facing, immigration is not even within the top 10. And you immediately cited the Constitution when making this claim. I would like to know if you can recite, and I know we had a little bit of an issue earlier with our citations. Do you happen to know what is written at the top of the Constitution in a section known as the preamble?
We the people. We the people.
That's 3 words. Okay, thank you. After that, there is, believe it or not, additional language. And
Hang on. Are you wanting me to recite the entire preamble? Hang on. Are you wanting me to recite the entire preamble of the Constitution?
It is a crime.
This is your
allowed
question?
to speak so much.
Am I in third
already.
grade history class?
What it
What's your
continues-
question,
Do you
guy?
still have it memorized? I don't have it memorized.
Is that the
We the
Constitution-
people in order to form a more perfect union. Come on, just what's your
Is that
fucking
the-
question, guy?
Try getting it out. I don't know if they're going to put this on.
Yeah, first of all, I raised my right hand and I swore to defend that Constitution. So you, I do know it. What's your goddamn question?
Well, what you don't know is that it is written specifically for ourselves and our posterity, which is to say Americans and their direct descendants, not foreigners and illegal aliens. So true.
Hang on.
I wonder if these people realize that the first citizens of the United States of America were not Americans. Do you think these people realize that? I had to memorize the preamble in 3rd grade, still know it. According to him, anyone that arrived in America after the Constitution was written should leave. Yeah, exactly.
Hang on. So I have a rebuttal to that. I have a rebuttal to that. You said it's written for Americans and their direct descendants?
Hold on.
No, first of all, you made that part up. That's your opinion. No. What is Americans and their direct descendants? What's that?
Your grandparents, great-grandparents weren't here when this Constitution was written.
Mine were.
Get the fuck out of the country.
Mine were.
Get the fuck out.
This guy. 4 years?
I'm illegal immigrant.
4 years?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
The question I was
I hate other poor people. That's why I'm poor.
How is it that you can invoke the Constitution, which was written by and for Americans and their posterity, to say that
when did your family come to this country?
1620 on the Mayflower, baby, which is a great cigar. It's a delicious cigar.
When did your family come?
You invoke the Constitution, which was written by and for Americans.
When did your family get here?
To say that posterity.
What makes you an American?
When did your family get here?
Lower levels of all immigration, both legal and illegal. That posterity has said that. You said they are wrong, and I am using the document that was written specifically for them to actually side with illegal aliens for whom it was not written. How do you square that? That was my question.
There's multiple times.
The Constitution literally defends everybody within the borders of the United States of America, whether you are just visiting as a tourist or whether you're a citizen or whether you're an undocumented immigrant or you're just a fucking resident. The Constitution defends everybody within our borders.
Times throughout the Constitution where it talks about persons and not citizens. So you don't have to be a citizen of America. Hang on. I know facts suck, but you don't have to be a citizen of America for certain parts of the Constitution to apply to you. You quoted the preamble as if that was the whole story, just like a conservative to read the headline and not the story. But there are plenty of times throughout the Constitution where it says persons and not citizens.
SCOTUS cases showing immigrants have rights in the U.S. Oh, shit. Held the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment applies to all persons, including non-citizens with the U.S. jurisdiction. Yik Wo versus Hopkins. Wong Wing versus the United States, 1896, ruled that non-citizens are entitled to 5th and 6th Amendment protections, including due process and jury trials if criminally prosecuted. United States versus Wong Kim Ark, 1898, confirmed that children born in the United States to foreign parents, except diplomats, enemy occupiers, are citizens under the 14th Amendment. Takahashi versus Fish and Game Commission, 1948, struck down a California law barring resident aliens from commercial fishing licenses, affirming equal protection for legal immigrants. Plyler and versus Doe held that undocumented immigrant children are entitled to equal protection under the 14th Amendment, including access to public education. Graham versus Richardson, 1971, invalidated state laws denying welfare benefits to legal aliens, affirming equal protection rights for non-citizens. Shang Nessie versus United States, ex-rel Macy, recognized that aliens physically present in the United States are entitled to due process protections, though with limitations for those at the border. Matthews versus Diaz, 1976, acknowledged that aliens are entitled to due process, but Congress can treat citizens and non-citizens differently in some contexts. These cases collectively establish that foreign nationals on U.S. soil are generally entitled to due process and equal protection in certain constitutional rights.
And that's because you don't have to be a citizen for it to apply to you. One of those times, Michael, is due process. You know, the thing that currently immigrants are not getting.
They're
so
getting,
when you
they're
want
getting
to quote
plenty
the
of due process. They're getting too much due process, if you ask me.
Part,
there it is again! There it is again! There it is again! Oh my God, this is what they do. Oh, they're getting too much of it. They're getting too much of the rights. They're getting too much of the rights that they're guaranteed in the fucking Constitution. Oh my God. Dude, this is their whole argument. This is the whole argument. Oh, those rights? You're getting too much of those rights. But again, constitutional originalist, you're getting too many rights. This is fucking crazy.
A little bit less of that due process. Okay, so at the end of that round, where we were debating something, I think, who do we think won the round? Was it John Doyle? Was it John Doyle? Was there people say it's? Was it any of the other?
John Doyle wins, and he also has to deport himself at the end. Like, is that what you get for winning? He's saying that if you shouldn't be, he's arguing.
John
against
Doyle
himself
is being naturalized into the VIP table right now. Congratulations, John. A news is it my it's my topic now. Let's see how many words I can get out. My argument is that we need common sense trans control.
This is the Daily Wire, so like, you're famous for the question, the what is a woman question.
Yeah, that's one of the things. No, that's more my colleague. That's more my colleague. That's Mr. Walsh.
So let's
What's a woman?
do
I
it.
think a woman is sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Okay.
That's my honest answer.
So you're not taking this seriously then. So why should I take any of your arguments seriously if you're not going to answer the question?
Okay.
That's my honest answer.
So a caramel latte.
Yeah. That's a little effeminate.
That's just a drink, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No,
so,
but
so you think it's on a spectrum then?
No, I think
Okay,
that
so what is a
women
woman?
are at least their biology, but I think a woman is more than her biology. So some conservatives like to say
These people don't know how genetics works.
that a woman is an adult female human being. I don't agree with that. I think
Thank
that's
you.
reductive and materialist. I think a woman is at least a female human being, but I think a woman is more than that. That's why I say a woman, I think, is sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Well, see, I think we actually are approaching similar things.
Yeah, we
where-
agree that gender is slightly
wait.
different. I agree.
So wait,
Yeah.
so it's like a woman is a biological state of being that is also socially experienced.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
And so my thing is with the whole trans satanic panic right now is your daughter, if she runs too fast, throws too hard,
This
jumps
is
too
good.
far, hits too hard,
This is
she
good.
will be transvestigated
Yeah,
by a
I
group
agree.
of
Yeah.
online adult men.
I'm sorry. Is Michael Knowles about to say, yes, I want penis inspection day?
Yeah.
They're gonna transvestigate your daughter.
I
if
totally
she
agree with
plays
this point.
Too well.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
Yes, thank you. They will transvestigate.
So you agree with transvestigations?
I think transvestigation is very bad. But oh, I'm sorry. When you said transvestigation, I thought the point you were making was that if a girl runs a little too fast or hits the ball a little too well, she will be told that she is actually a woman or actually a man and be transitioned by her
No,
teachers
she will
and by
be
society.
Wait. Chat. What? This isn't even the correct argument. He's not making a right argument. That's not happening. Yeah, I know it's not happening, but like, they're not even making the correct argument. Like, he's not making the argument to support his point of view. Like, to support his point of view, he should say, actually, if a boy is not hitting as strong or everything, then we're going to encourage them to transition to become a woman. But he fucking mixed it up and said, oh, actually, if a girl is hitting the ball too hard or is a little too fast, we're actually going to trans her into becoming a boy. What? This argument doesn't make any sense. It doesn't support your position at all.
The entire online,
then never mind. That's not true.
You actually know what's happening. The entire online community will get together and go, I don't know, is that really a man? Is your daughter really a man?
Now,
Is
the
really
thing
a
is, they
woman?
won't because you can tell. You can actually just tell is the thing. And then
can't.
pretend you can't
can't
tell.
tell.
You can just tell.
You can't tell.
You can.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I think you can. Okay.
I know plenty of people you would never tell. You could never tell.
If you told
And
me
the
right
only
now
way
that
you
you're
would
a
know-
woman.
And the only way you would know, Michael, is if you check their pants, which what I think you're actually
Which also, like, that doesn't give it away either.
obsessed with.
Yeah.
People's dick.
This is what I
I
always
think you're
say.
obsessed with what people. Listen,
Yeah, Michael Knowles is very obsessed with penises.
if somebody comes up to you,
Once again, playing with his ring.
Homophobic, by the way, isn't that that's a very homophobic
how's
statement.
that homophobic?
Because this is what the libs do.
I never
The
brought
libs
up being
try to-
gay. I never brought it up. I think that
You
if
just-
somebody comes
you
up to
just
you,
said, I wanna
if
look at
somebody comes up
someone's
to you
phallus.
and they present a way, and there's no way you can tell because there's plenty of people you can't tell, then the only way you would verify is look in their pants.
I actually no.
That's not
I
really
want
verifying.
I know.
low information voters to vote.
I know
don't
you do.
care if you vote
I know
for
you want
Trump.
low
I
information
don't
voters
care
to
if
vote.
you- I don't
But
care-
I, a Republican, want smart voters to vote.
No,
So
you
I guess
want-
we're at an
you want
impasse.
wealthy landowners.
if you wanted smart voters to vote, you would lose every election.
To be able to vote. That's it.
Wealthy
You have a
landowners.
constitutional right to vote, don't you?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
constitutional
people do
right.
have a constitution.
Okay.
Well, not the illegals who are voting, but some people
They're
have a
not voting.
constitutional
Yeah,
right
they're
to
not.
I'm sorry. There have been like 1,000 illegal votes in the last 100-some years. Chat, do you know how many votes have happened in the last like 100 years of those 1,000 quote-unquote illegal votes? Billions. Fucking billions. It comes out to less than 1%. Less than like 0.1%. I did the math one time because I was fucking bored at work at my last job.
There's mass evidence.
Doesn't they say makes sense? Yeah.
That's not a real problem.
You don't have proof of that.
Yeah.
Multiple mayors in the last year have been removed from office because not only did
Jose Ceballos, mayor of Coldwater, Kansas, was accused by the Kansas AG of voting in an election despite not being a U.S. citizen. He's a registered Republican who boasted of voting for Trump 3 times. He resigned while under investigation.
they vote illegally, but they held office illegally. Multiple mayors in the United States.
Is that
Okay,
proof that? Anyway, go. So first of all, fetuses in the womb are not children; they're fetuses.
What?
Are we going to debate abortion? We're
Oh
going to debate
my-
abortion now.
What-
Okay. We're gonna debate
what
abortion
is
now?
what does
That
fetus
denies
mean?
all
What
science.
does it mean? The original Latin root does.
Science literally refers to them as fetuses. If it can't survive on its own, if it can't survive on its own, outside of the womb, then it's not a child.
Doesn't have to do with what it is.
I'm just asking you what it means.
A fetus is a preborn child.
It doesn't mean
A
little-
preborn child. You're right. I agree.
That's not a child.
A fetus is a child. You're right.
And when is it?
Fetus is a young while in the womb or egg, tending to mean vaguely the embryo in the latter stage of development, from Latin fetus, often incorrectly, foetus. The bearing or hatching of a young, bringing forth pregnancy, childbearing offspring from suffix form pyroot.
Become a child.
To
When
suck.
does it become a child? When does it
You
become
just
a child?
said it's a child, not me. You just said it.
Yeah,
Preborn. Hasn't been born
Yeah,
yet.
it's going to be a child.
Preborn is an
So when it's
adjective.
born-
Child is a
when
noun.
it's
You
born,
said
I'll
he's a
capitulate
child.
it's a child. Trying to get past his boring ass points so we can have a real conversation.
Oh, okay. Let's have a real conversation.
Yeah, let's have a real
so
conversation.
abortion kills
No,
a child.
Abortion laws have been proven to kill more women than children, period.
Well, it's killed
Yes.
70
Yes.
million children
Yes.
in the.
Yes, because no child dies during abortion.
You just admitted that
No,
abortion
no, I
kills
said
a
it's
child,
fetus. No, I didn't. I said it's a fetus.
and then you said a fetus is a child.
No.
Because that's what you wanted me to say, right? So I want to get past
You
it.
just said it. You just said it. I don't. Wow.
Talking to mother***ing conservatives
That's
is like
Michael.
ramming yourself in the head with
Michael.
a hammer.
That is crazy.
No, let's do it. Hey, do it, Michael. So you're in a burning building. There's 2 rooms.
Yeah.
One is a 6-month-old baby. The other room is 100,000 embryos. Which one? You can only go into one room.
Right.
Which one do you do?
So my view of ethics is not a utilitarian or consequentialist view of ethics. My view of ethics comes from.
No,
So you don't
the
want to answer
fire's
the
going
question.
on. Come on, you got to
Got it.
choose, Michael.
People are burning, Michael.
Fire, it's burning.
So the answer is.
Oh, come on.
I
Come
would,
on. Where are you going?
I would move to save the child who was closest
Who
to
was
me
already born,
because
got
of
it.
the order of charity.
sense.
No, well, not
The child that's
necessarily.
already born.
The
Cool.
child.
The order of charity.
Because we have a greater responsibility to the people who are closest to us. Just like a human
That
being has
facilitates
a
our
greater
argument,
responsibility to his own children than to the children of
Yeah,
others.
it does.
So the newborn is dying
Again, playing with his ring again. Playing with his ring again.
because you were closer
It did-
to the embryos.
If it's my embryos, and I had to choose in this crazy hypothetical, I guess I would choose my kids over someone else's kids, though I'd like to save all of them. And if the libs weren't selling human life like this, we wouldn't have to choose.
Selling human life? So stupid. Oh, well, that was a thing, chat. I was thinking about cutting this down and making a YouTube video, but it was really fucking stupid. There are billboards around town lately that are pushing for 3-week abortion bans, claiming that there is a heartbeat. There isn't. There isn't even a heartbeat at 6 weeks. I hate trolley problem arguments. Yeah, no, they're stupid too. They're all fucking dumb. They're all fucking idiotic. Anyway, chat. I am tired. I'm exhausted. I gave you a little over 2.5 hours of React content. Life begins at arousal. Dude, that's what it's going to come down to. I had another video from Ben a minute. What is the political leaning of every major AI chatbot? But I'm a little too beat to do that. That one's a 34-minute video. And that 49-minute video took me 2 hours. So, Walter and Jolly Good Ginger doing the Lord's work and pushing back on conservative talking. I hope they get better at it. I hope they get better at it and don't fall into the typical conservative traps. I can't say I would do better in person. I would try to, but what would happen is they would shout me down and not let me get any words out. So, I don't know. But chat, that's going to be it for me tonight. I'm going to send you somewhere. So, supposed to have a baseball game tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to happen. Thank you for streaming, no problem. Supposed to have a baseball game tomorrow for the team I coach. Valdez is doing a gorgeous set. Supa's live as well. Supposed to have a baseball game tomorrow. I don't know if the game's going to happen. Pay attention to the Ghost Cord to see if I'm streaming. Pay attention to the Ghost Cord to see if I'm streaming. I finished my taxes. Congratulations, kidda. I am happy for you. Wait, did you finish your taxes in this entire stream? Wow. That was quick. Hopefully you got all the money you are supposed to get back. I guess if you have a W-2, it's fairly simple. And if you could just look at your previous years. Probably not. Oh, hate that. But yeah. Okay. I need to send you somewhere. I think I'm going to stuff my face a little bit more with food. I don't think I have enough. The mortgage tax credit doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yeah, so I think I mentioned this, but most of my tax bill is actually like Medicare and Social Security. My taxes, I'm only paying like $730 of actual taxes. But I'm paying $8,700 in Medicare and Social Security. So that's kind of what's been going on with my stuff. All right. I'm going to send you to Super Loops. I'm going to send you to Super Loops. She's playing, demos. She's playing demos now. She was playing Signal earlier, but she's doing demos now. It's a pajama party, apparently. So, chat, thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for sitting here in the reacts. I hope I was entertaining. I hope maybe some of y'all learn some talking points that you could use when dumbass conservatives say dumbass shit to you. And also, I learned a lot that conservative commentating is just saying way too many and then of whatever like U.S. right you have by the Constitution. So apparently that's a thing. But yeah, so wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good night. See y'all later. Go Birds. Fuck ICE. Free Palestine. Fuck Israel. See y'all later.